they allow. Oh, okay,
There we go. Sorry.
no worries, no worries. Okay, let's see. Where are you? Tracking rule. There you are. Okay, yeah, you definitely see what you see. Okay, yeah. You are not going to move as fast as Fen. Fen is speedy hound, but you begin to make your work to track him down. Start making your way through the solid rock. You pick up this trail around here. Start making your way into the wild woods of Asiora. There might be more dangerous here than just Fen. You will see. Um, Perhaps of concern to you, Nyx, as you maybe make a decision about where you want to go, and Ember as well. The gnomish master builder sort of is stumbling after you guys in his sort of dazed state, and kind of just making his way through. What do you two want to
do? Well, I'm going to speak aloud because we know Nyx is there, just not where here. We need to, find a place where Yvain can come back to find us. So we probably need to stay close by here. And I'll try to herd the master builder, into the lee of the wreck or something.
Fair enough.
So stay inside of the wreckage to kind of have some cover. I'm invisible, so that's not a problem, but you are not, and neither is the builder. So
that's
kind of hiding in the wreckage might be a good idea.
If I can get the builder's attention, I need to ask him a question.
Yeah, you get his attention. He goes, "Oh, good lad. You
Is broomstone volatile?"
Broomstone? He has the answer for that. I just need to look it up. Stone. He goes. I think so. Goes, no, it is not. I'm afraid it is not. I mean, I think I'm afraid. That's a good thing, right? We don't be dead if it wasn't if it was volatile.
Yeah, I was hoping.
You do see indeed, per the pinks, you do see that at least two of the large broomstones have been shattered, just smashed across the mountainside. One still seems to be remaining intact, the one that was on the aft deck, but the two that were off the sides of the struts are just shattered into a million pieces.
Yeah, I was hoping. Because I'd swap that material component in a heartbeat. You thought fireball was bad? Wait until you get a load of this.
Yeah, fair enough. No, unfortunately, I'm pretty certain it is not. Yeah, it's not. Okay. Let's do a little. Why don't we do a little forward because things are a little forlorn right now. And it is cold. I will put that out there. But luckily, you have your cold weather here, so it's no Everfields.
I'll just pop us a bonfire, so we don't have to be cold.
Fair enough. You guys stash yourself on the interior of the ship. Yeah, fantastic. Get rid of all that. That was below there. Okay, and you're just gonna set up shop and wait. You light a little fire outside, presumably outside because there's a lot of flammable wood. Yep. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Fair enough. Let's get you a little fire going. Just kind of floating there, I imagine.
Did they have any casks for like waterproofing or stuff like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Probably a couple stone tack.
Because that should probably be tar. And I'm quite happy with having a large barrel of tar available.
Fair enough.
In fact, I'm
yeah, if
gonna
you wanna,
roll that out so it's away from the rest of the ship, just kind of sitting there all on its own.
I'll tell you what. I want you to roll me a. Let's call this an investigation check to see if Ember might connect that. Just because you're very, very smart, and I want to see if the character matches.
I'm actually gonna spend. What the hell is it? Hold on a second. Because it hovered there at a good number and then turned into crap. I've got to look to see what the feature does. Bear with me here 1 second.
No, take your time.
Saving throw or attack roll. Nope. Best I can do is a 9 because I can't apply it.
A 9. All right. I will. Yeah, I will say that you for Ember, maybe perhaps that doesn't quite connect the tar and water barrels. It's a very, very cool trick, and I don't want to. I'll tell you what. Go ahead and roll with advantage because it's a really smart idea. It's really cool, and I don't want to bone people for having good ideas.
Well, that'll be a 19 because it wasn't a 1.
Fair enough. 19 surely is enough, Ember. You work in taverns. You know about such things.
Live on the docks.
Exactly. Live on the docks, and it hits Ember, and you head over to. There's a couple of smashed barrels, but it doesn't matter too much. Some of them are indeed intact, and you can start trying to dry them off and start trying to take the tar up. Do you intend to do you just want to get it get the pieces of wood with tar together, or do you intend to try and okay.
That's
I was gonna say
the
they're
goal.
probably pretty adhered. Yeah. Okay, so you start bringing together a bunch of piles of barrels outside, start kind of laboring through that process. Absolutely.
And that's it. I just want to make a please stand here.
Got it. You make a little water stand, absolutely. Toss some barrels out. We'll say you get that, and the skelly is floating in midair. Yeah, you got a couple of barrels on the outside there. You're looking pretty good at this point. Yvain is off in the woods. Okay, Zarvog, we've already figured you out. You are in your hole. You are resting. You're trying to make good some rest. Nyx, I want to know, are you into anything? You've just been through a pretty crazy, if not traumatic event. What is Nyx doing or feeling?
I think Nyx is probably trying to find a way to maybe shield the open bits from being seen. Just so that we have less of a chance for Stabby Lady to just kind of see us in passing. I don't really know how her mechanics work, so I'm not sure if she's tracking us magically or if what.
Yeah, fair enough. You consider that there is a dangerous adversary out there, and you start kind of making a little barrier. Not a bad idea at all. Just kind of do a little redecorating here, and you guys kind of start forming your barrier. Just kind of getting ready for the worst a little bit. Yeah, and we'll say that progress is getting to be made. Absolutely. Just kind of decorating a little here. Your new abode. So yeah, you use the power of keeping busy to keep you sane, perhaps, and start making a little barrier. Fantastic. Okay. All right. Why don't we travel over to see how Glint and Beverly are? So Glint, it's getting a little later in the day. I gotta go find wherever the hell I put you. There you are, on the mountainside. You're climbing and clambering. Beverly is very hurt. She's just been attacked You all have just been attacked, and you're continuing to make your way. You're not really sure, I think, where you're going other than a general direction towards the wreckage. There's no pillars of smoke or anything of the like. So it's a little tricky. I want you to make me a survival check to see if you can find your way there.
Okay. 1 moment. Survival. With the disadvantage, that'll be a nat 1 for a 2.
No.
I'm very sorry about that. I'll give you some grace though, and I'll roll for Beverly and see if she's doing a little better. Where are you, Bev? Oh, Bev. Oh, not Babe. It's Bev. There we go. Okay, let's see how she does. Holy fuck, she rolls a natural 20.
Very nice.
Yeah, Glenn, you're getting a little off track there. You're kind of going off to the side. You see Beverly kind of, I think she's actually using the spear to like help her walk because she's very injured. And at one point she kind of like says, Mr. Grimhelm, I'm really sorry. I feel like you're moving a little more east, and I think the wreckage was a little more that way.
By all means, I trust your sense of direction more than mine. I am just quite quite tired. Yeah, by all means, please lead the way. I'll follow as best I can.
Okay. Just start leading. I want to put a little disclaimer out there. I think going forward, when people sort of fail skill checks, I'm going to give them misinformation that your character believes, as opposed to just saying like, do whatever you want, because that is what happens in nature. Some people believe they're right, and some people believe they're wrong, and that's how we get fun conflict. Yeah, but that absolutely makes sense. Like when you're like, I know I'm not that good at it. I think it's over there, but
Bleeding from an open gut wound. Heart
yeah,
problems.
when you have an open gut wound, you're having a little trouble looking in the right direction. Absolutely, absolutely fair. So Beverly starts leading you on the right path. Let's see if you have anything nasty comes to get you. No, you're gonna be pretty good. You're moving at half speed, right?
No.
No, okay. Right, I remember you took the gut wound instead of the half speed. Okay. Let me give you an athletics check. I want to see how this hike goes for you. Let's see how well you handle it.
Alrighty. I got a 10 total.
A 10, which is pretty good. That's a very average. You probably handle like a good hour of hiking. At a certain point, I think you and Beverly kind of like look at each other, and you're both exhausted. Her because she's so wounded, you because you're literally exhausted. And maybe, do you settle down for a short rest, perhaps?
Yeah, I think so. Glenn needs to try and figure out his next steps here a little bit. And he's also just very, very tired. He would ask for a rest if Beverly doesn't want to keep on pushing forward.
Yeah, Beverly absolutely nods. She goes, okay, I could use a minute's bandage too, so perfect.
Of course.
I imagine your skellies take a defensive formation, keep an eye out for trouble.
Glenn's gonna have him just hold the crossbows and literally just have them ready to shoot, specifically if the drow woman pops up again.
Got it. So if they see the drow woman, they will fire. So they basically all take sort of close quarter defensive quarters to you guys, who are surrounding you like a little bit of a vanguard. Crossbows out in there, very wary of the drow woman. Beverly looks around at them as you give that command. She goes, do you think she'll come back?
I think if she manages to get what she's after, which is the crown, there'd be very little reason not to double back and clean up loose ends, that would be us in that case. If she does not, then then things are a little more in our favor, maybe.
Rubs her head a little, almost like more tired than anxious at this point. And she just kind of gives you a little nod. It's okay.
How are you holding up? Do you want me to help with any of the bandages or anything?
I'm maybe persuasion check to see if you can get Beverly to kind of open up about how she's feeling right now.
With disadvantage, that is a 5.
She goes, I'm okay. I'm okay. We'll get through this.
All right. And that's quite all
Are
right. I'm
you-
glad that you're doing well. Oh,
Are you-
go ahead.
What about you? Are you okay?
No. But thank you for asking.
Oh. And it just nods understandingly.
I think there is a certain point of exhaustion which itself bleeds into a point of delirium, and I am tap dancing on the cliff's edge at the moment.
I'm not much of a medic or anything. I could try and help. I have a little bit of healing.
It's not so much that I am worrying that I will bleed to death within any immediacy. It's simply I need a bit of a nappy nap.
Oh. Okay. You
And
see
I'll-
her eyebrow cocks a little bit. Maybe Glenn doesn't catch it, but she's I think you're starting to sound a little like, I need a nappy nap. And she starts to get a little like, oh, that's where we are. Like she kind of starts to really understand what you're talking about.
I'll manage until until things are all copacetic.
What does that mean?
In good working order.
Oh,
You know, when we aren't fucked.
Oh, oh, wow. I feel like we've been not copacetic for kind of a long time now.
For a significant stretch of days. Yes, and sometimes I tend to find that that is living. Life is inherently messy. We complicate things with every breath that we draw. But that's all right. We'll get to more calm waters soon.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me know if I can help in any way.
Of course. Mostly keep an eye out for you know, six-armed
Ghost
women.
ladies was yeah.
Yes. I am trying to sort out. Do you think she's a ghost? Do you think she's a lady? Do you think she's a demon? Do you think you know, I don't think I've ever seen a ghost with 6 arms before. Granted, I haven't seen many people with 6 arms. So what do you think she would be?
Seems like she's all three.
Demon ghost lady with knives. That is probably right. It sounds apropos.
What does apropos mean?
Fitting.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, fitting. We proceed to a sort of like, okay, grandpa, kind of like I was the things are copacetic and good. She's like, okay, grandpa. And she'll kind of help bandage while you're talking. Maybe she like puts your leg on her knee and will like wrap a bandage around you. And you're like, oh, I'm fine. You just kind of start letting it happen because you're a little loopy right now. And she'll kind of help bandage you up, and you guys will complete a short rest. So feel free to take care of that.
Okay. Glenn's going to use a charge from the protective verses to spend a minute studying the book during the short rest and replace one of his prepared spells with a different spell in his book. As long as that new spell is of the abjuration class.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to swap out Featherfall because I don't think that's too useful at this point, given that we are on the ground, and probably prepare Protection from Evil and Good.
Very good. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You both pop up, and she'll kind of. I think Beverly gets to the point now where, like, now that she's all bandaged up and she's doing a lot better hit point wise. She's actually going to start like actively helping you climb. Like she's like kind of gets up and like gives you a hand, like pulls you up over rocks, and it's a little bit of slow moving, but probably a little needed given your loopiness.
Yeah.
But you guys continue your travel for a while longer. But the sun is setting, and soon enough, you'll have to make camp. Hopefully, you're moving in the right direction. We'll see if you get there before anything bad happens. Yvain's out in the wild. We'll deal with Yvain in a moment. But Zarvolg, we know what's going on with you, but I just want to double check. Is there anything you do or would want? How is Zarvolg feeling as you sit in this beast hole and hide from?
Well, that's a
hide
good
from
beast
the-
hole. You found a good one.
Yeah, thank you. Your hound sits sort of right against your body, your arm almost like folded over Fenn's, and just kind of like sits.
Yeah, he's not feeling good. I think right now he's probably trying to use some of his training to calm himself into like a restorative type of rest or sleep. Probably, I'm sure no, I think we already discussed it's not the right time of day for a long rest, but I think he's like kind of in like conserving, building energy type of mode, trying to gather himself, clear his mind, sort of, hibernation, knowing that at some point he's got to get himself up and start making his way through this forest again with whatever bad nasties happen to be out there.
Fair enough. You are most certainly, if you ever saw the Mark Wahlberg movie, The Survivor, I think it's called, where him and his buddies get cornered.
Yeah.
You're Mark Wahlberg having just escaped the conflict and like hit himself under a rock. He's got a bone sticking out of his leg and he just like passes out. It's kind of you right now.
Right.
As you like sit in this hole, this den, and hope whatever used to live here doesn't come back soon.
And there was probably also when a person is in this situation, like there would have been, certainly an adrenaline rush, maybe like preceding this point, but that's gone now. So now he's really probably starting to feel it and feeling, incredibly weary, I guess would be the best word for it, right? As that adrenaline seeps away.
Yes, as that adrenaline seeps away and the full brunt of the pain seeps in, your weariness starts to take over, and God's your exhaustion. You find yourself slipping into unconsciousness before you even know what happened. And let's come to Yvain. Yvain, you are tracking quite well, and in your desperation, you find yourself running through the Asilra wilds by yourself, alone, following these fen tracks here and there. There's a couple of kind of switchbacks from Fen as he's tracking where clearly Fen wasn't even entirely certain which way was the right way, and you're just doing your best to try and catch up to Zarvolg's hound. What is Yvain thinking, feeling, doing as she is alone in this deep wilderness and the sun is getting very low? This is probably the first time you've been alone in the deep wilds since your failure of your ranger trial. Muted.
Sorry.
Okay.
All she's thinking about is not good. All she's thinking about is and I think in this moment, there's a quick prayer to the Moon Weaver. That's love, right? Not that but I mean, she's so hyper focused on what she's doing. I don't think she's thinking about everything that's ever happened. I think she's very singular focused on this one thing.
Absolutely. Fair enough. You run, you move, Happy sort of hopping along behind you, trying to keep up. Keeping up just fine. But as you move singularly, yeah, your focus is entirely on the ground directly in front of you, moving to track these claw prints, hoping and having faith that Fen might find his master. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, so simple. Huh. All right. Well, we're gonna come back to you again. Just bouncing around. Just got to get all my bases covered, get the story flowing. Okay. The sun is getting very low. You guys have set up your barrier, your fire is going, and I think the interior of your ship is certainly a little bit warmer than the exterior. And the sun is absolutely coming to set. Nyx, Ember, is there anything you'd like to do before the sun meets the ground and the moon takes over?
I don't think so. We just have to kind of wait for Glinton and Evie and Zon.
Fair enough. Yeah. Just waiting along, waiting along. You're gonna make a little roll and spin here real quick. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let's do this. Oh, fun. Yeah. Ember,
Yes, sir.
as you're wandering around the back, waiting whatever's to come, falling from the ceiling is an arm with a blade bearing in it. A dagger comes striking down upon you. That is a natural 20.
Oh,
I'll silvery barbs that.
Absolutely.
good idea.
Good idea. Okay, not a natural 20 this time around. That is going to be a 26 to hit instead.
Oh God.
The blade comes in, but you spare yourself. The dagger slashes into you. Make me a con save while I go ahead and add up the damage.
That'll be a net 20 for 24.
Hell yeah. That's very, very good. You are going to be struck for 54 points of piercing damage as the dagger comes in and stabs right in towards the neckline.
Okay.
Are you still up?
Oh no.
You fall. And Nyx, you turn around before you know what happens, and maybe you just hear like a grunt and a thud, and you turn around to see this woman who you have been fearing standing over Ember. Where did I put her? She's floating around somewhere. There she is. Your enemy is present, and she turns around and looks at you and sort of levels you with her red drow eyes as she stands there sort of wispy. She speaks to you. She says, "Are you going to be a problem for me?"
Are they froze?
I think they froze. Apparently not. Good. No. We'll come up. Yep, there you are. Oh, maybe not. We're gonna give Nyx just a second here.
Can you guys hear me yet?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yay.
Okay, good. Sorry. So I'm not going to be a problem for you, but we don't have what you're looking for.
Then where is it?
A dragon took it.
A dragon.
I know how unlikely that sounds, but it really, really did happen. Can
I want you to make me a persuasion check. As she rolls an insight check on you because she does not believe you. Or doesn't want to believe you anyway. A dragon took it. She's like, really? Persuasion check?
I'm sorry.
You're good.
Persuasion. 19.
19?
Yeah.
She kind of
5
looks at,
plus 4.
absolutely.
14.
14.
No, it's 5 plus 14, so it's 19.
Oh, okay, there we are. Okay, cool, gotcha. She looks at you and sort of cocks an eyebrow. You are a bard and a very convincing one at that. And she goes, "So, where did the dragon take it? Where did the dragon come from?"
That's excellent. So out of nowhere, and I know it sounds, I literally almost died in a crash. So it went in the direction of the mountains. That's all I can tell you. Like that guy.
This dragon came, scooped up your asset, and took it to the mountain. Why would you give it to a dragon?
We're just trying to survive here. You almost killed us. It took the paladin, it killed your cat, and he, we wanted to appease him.
Make me another persuasion check. You're doing well, but this is a tough pill to swallow.
16.
16. She's going to like look down at Ember. Ember, I want you to send me a private death saving throw, please, at this point. Understood. She looks down at Ember and says, "Your friend is bleeding out. I don't have time for lies. If you tell me what it truly is, or can somehow convince me that what you say is true, I will let you heal him. Try and save him, but you must be quick and convince me faster."
How can I persuade you? How can I let you know this is this dragon is a silver dragon. He's an avatar of Bahamut. That's what he said anyway.
Maybe another persuasion check. Maybe another persuasion check.
31.
31. She's going to say, she looks out to the mountain and back at you, and she's going to sort of start walking closer to you, closing distance between you and her, daggers bared in every one of her 6 hands. And she'd say, "No, how convenient a plan for me to waste my time traipsing across the ice skate to go to a mountain and buy you and your friends time to escape. How convenient." She's going to, you find your back against the wall, and she's going to bring up a blade to your face and just sort of run the razor sharp edge down the side of your cheek. And she'll say, "If I go to that mountain and I do not find what I seek, it is your heart I will have plate. You sure you don't want to change your answer?"
I can't. It's the truth.
With just a slick little tip off of your cheek, just leaving the tiniest little cut on your jawbone, she sort of draws back her blade, says, "Save your friends." And she will turn and, in a very ghost-like way, move right through your barrier, and just sort of move through it as if it were nothing, and then kind of drop off the back of the ship and disappear as quickly as she came. Would you like to heal Ember?
I don't actually have any healing. Could I do like a medicine check?
Absolutely. Are you proficient in medicine?
I have a +4.
Is the little dot next to medicine highlighted?
Halfway. I have
Halfway.
half proficiency.
That's right. You're a bard, so you got track many of the traits. So for that purpose, I will give you the full potential of this medicine check. If you roll a 5 or lower, how did you do? Very interesting. Just go ahead and roll me the medicine check. I will say if you roll a 15 or higher, you will stabilize Ember. You roll 10 or higher, you will help him on the saving throw. If you roll 5 or lower, you will hurt him on the saving throw. So advantage or disadvantage.
Oh God.
So you got to roll well. Well, if you roll a nat 1, that's the only way that you can hurt him with a +4. So odds are in your favor,
Okay.
for sure.
16.
16 is very good. You run over to Ember and you see where the knife wound is. It is deep and thorough, and you just start taking like whatever you can, linen, you just start stuffing it into the wound so he doesn't bleed out, and try and like plot the wound as best you can. And Ember will be stabilized for the time being. You have saved his life. Ember, do you want an exhaustion or a lingering injury?
No, we'll take the lingering injury.
All right, go ahead and roll me a d20.
About 6.
This is the party of organ damage, it seems. He hit you, she hit you like right in the shoulder, and we'll say it dipped down and kind of messed up your upper torso organs. So you, whenever you attempt an action in combat, you must make a DC 15 con saving throw. On a failed save, you lose your action. You can't use your reaction until the start of your next turn. So that is what you're dealing with. And you will awaken in a couple of hours. But Nyx, you are certain you have just saved your friend's life. And that's a good feeling. The gnome is at the back of the ship going, just like as terrified at the presence of this assassin woman who has now run off. And it'll be up to you to protect Ember from the wilds of Asilra, as well as this gnome individual. You have some responsibility on your back. At which point we shall come to Yvain. Yvain, you've been tracking for a minute here, and you've been doing very well, but quickly the tracks begin to disappear under the darkness. And as the sun officially goes down, it would very much be like a get on the ground and like literally like feel around for the next track, and you would be moving at like a snail's pace.
I have dark vision.
You have dark vision. I want you to make me another survival check. I'm going to give you disadvantage because this would be considered dim light.
Got it. I'm so sorry to miss that natural 20. That makes me very sad. However, 19.
19. Very
Yeah.
impressive. With your dark vision, you squint, you look, you're able to keep following the tracks. You intend to do this for as long as it takes?
Yes.
Very well, understood. We are going to head over to Glint for a, you know what? Zarvolg, in your little hidey hole, you are stirred to wakedness for pain, discomfort return to you as you feel the vibration of Ben against your chest going, and then sort of and starts like barking up at the hole. Something is coming. What do you do? Muted.
I guess I will try to gather myself and roll over, grab a hold of Fenn's collar, and I'm going to try, I think it's primeval awareness that lets me get a little bit of like a feeling sense from animals.
Yes, that's right.
I can't really talk to them, but can I maybe get some idea of the nature of whatever he thinks this threat might be?
Absolutely. I think it's very much like a speak to the animals version of like literal speak with animals. So while you can't like speak word for word with him, you would be able to speak with him as well as anyone probably could, without the power of magic on your side. So use your innate ability to communicate with Zarvolg or with Fen, and Fen already recognizes you as a kindred spirit. And you sort of communicate to him sort of like almost animalistically the idea of concern. And you know that Fen is feeling deeply protective of you. And in this unknown place, Fen basically relays like there's going to be danger. Something's coming. It's probably danger. I need to protect you. And that's what you get out of Fen.
Does he seem to does he seem confident that it's dangerous, or does he seem unsure of what it is? And does that make sense?
He
Is that
seems
possible to figure
unsure.
out? Yeah.
No, yeah, he doesn't know what's approaching. He just his
Knows
animal
knows that
senses
it's
tell
something.
him something's coming, and out here it's probably going to be dangerous. So Fenn's like in a murderous state. Like whatever's going to appear, chances are Fenn's going to try to kill him.
Okay. I'm going to hold on to him for now, and try to communicate to him the idea of like being ready but not acting rashly, and the idea that like we don't want to attract aggression if we don't have to. Also,
Fenn, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Have I been in here for a short rest?
Give me a hold on that one. It's
Okay.
it's a good point. We'll come to that in a second. Fenn basically like stops barking and kind of like goes back to just growling. Seems to like goes back to the idea of like stealth and not drawing attention. But the idea of being rational just doesn't compute. Fenn is like,
Right.
like you're my master, you're my person. I am going to kill whatever tries to come in.
right.
And it's not like ultimate territorial, like murderously territorial. It's not.
Sure. Right.
But definitely calms from the barking and just kind of goes into that low growl. And you begin to hear it, Zarval, this something moving through the woods rather quickly in your
Ooh.
direction.
Yeah. Since I'm already being primevally aware, is it humanoid?
It takes a minute to do this, an uninterrupted minute. Begin to sort of feel the wilds around you, and hope you can sense whatever's coming. It's a little too, you just don't have quite enough time to get to like 40 seconds in. You kind of run out of time as you hear the something coming closer. Fenn fully just lances out and like breaks your grapple, just goes
Right.
running out towards it, and just kind of running out, sort of goes quiet, and like you hope your dog will be okay or maybe kill whatever it is. And a couple moments later, after like a couple seconds later, you're like, fuck, I've got to restart. And at like 20 seconds, you hear the coming closer. Whatever the interaction was with Fenn may or not have survived. But in that moment, there's a deep pouring of relief as your dog sort of returns into the hole and starts licking your face, and you see Yvain's head look down into the hole. And Yvain, you were like, something came out of the woods, just like, and then like a moment Fenn got up to you, he like recognized your scent, and kind of like licked your hand and kind of like just like started almost like grabbing your hand with his mouth and pulling you, and then started running towards the hole. And in this moment, you peek down the hole and see Zarval just like he just got hit by a fucking train, which is almost exactly what happened.
Yeah, I'm going to kiss him and cast a
Mhm.
3rd level healing.
All right.
You said
Jump.
you weren't going to heal me.
Oh, that's not going to be right. So hold on. I've only got one. So, all right. All right. So it was a 13 minus 1. So I can roll that again. That's the problem with me. You have to re-roll things. So minus 1, 13, 12. 12 plus 7. And then plus 4. Hold on. I've got a thing. Plus 3. All right. 9. 22 points of healing.
22 points of healing.
Oh, very nice.
I'm sorry we glossed over the whole kissing thing. I gotta know for my headcanon, what are we talking about here? we just pretend we're gonna pretend that didn't happen. Like I wanna know what happened.
Nobody saw it. Nobody saw it. We're out in the
Ben
woods
saw it
in
and
the
I'm
hole.
Ben, I gotta know.
Screenshots or it didn't happen.
Ben's like, "Arr?" and
He's
then
incredibly injured, so I mean, no, it's on the mouth, but not like she's not trying to
Okay.
shoot him at this moment.
Got it. All right, Zarvolg, you feel that sensation and the kiss of life, and you are healed.
Right. Like just like I'm Sleeping Beauty. Except covered in mud and blood.
Exactly, but you can stand a little better. You feel those
Yeah.
like more grievous wounds begin to pass you by. I'm gonna say, thinking about short rest, considering you went right to sleep. Short rest is very much like a sit down and you bandage yourself up. Considering you went right to sleep, maybe we'll say that you didn't quite get a short rest. I think that's how I'll do it from now on. Is like if you get those downtime, you get an hour of downtime out of your long rest, then yeah, you'll get your short rest. But you went right to sleep, so there was no bandaging, there was no, and we'll so you kind of receive this healing and feel a little bit more capable, a little more yourself, despite your more lingering wounds. Take it away.
Hey there. You found me.
Yeah. Don't let go next time, all right?
I'll try and remember. Took a little bit of a tumble. That's a good reminder.
Yeah. Scared me.
You okay?
I'm fine now. So the ship hit Finch.
Oh, that's almost kind of funny.
Like
Oh, there,
literally
right?
fell onto Finch. Right, yeah. I mean, I think they're alive because the literal dragon that took them off, flew off with them into the mountains so that they were going to save their life. So, I'm assuming they had it.
Wait, what?
They were
The
dragging it.
what?
All right, so I was
Finch got hit by a ship or a dragon?
a ship and then taken by a dragon. Taxi.
What dragon?
A silver one.
Finch has a dragon.
Apparently.
Come on.
I didn't know about it. I would have liked to have known about it sooner, but the dragon did kick the shit out of that poor cat.
Oh, yeah, that. It's gone.
Oh, gone. Turned into crystal.
All right. And
as you remark, like you're like, Finch has a dragon. What the fuck? Ben looks at you and goes,
well, you're hardly a dragon.
And you can be anything you want, boy.
So
takes that, yeah.
So Lady McStabslot's gone too.
We don't know where she is.
Oh.
We need to decide if we want to take a quick rest here.
Well, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Is she with you?
I don't know. She goes invisible, but why would she be with me? I don't have the thing she's looking for.
All right. I should have said this earlier, but I'm glad you're here. Thank you.
Glad you're here.
Do you know how to get back?
Yes. I wasn't so out of my mind with grief. I can't find my way back. I might not be the tracker you are, but I did find you.
You did fantastic. You didn't bring the crown, did you?
No, the dragon has the crown too.
What?
Ember gave the crown to the dragon.
All right. Is the dragon just part of the group now?
I don't know. The dragon took Finch and the crown and went off. So the murder Sheila, her name is, okay, not her name, but her moniker, whatever, is the inevitable end, right? Like.
Oh, that's really fucking cool.
Right? Yeah, it is. So she's hot and she's got a cool name, but she's stabby and I'm not into it. Anyway, she really wants the crown. We should decide if we're going to take a quick rest here, or if we want to go straight back to the wreckage and rest there. Ember and Nyx are at the wreckage. We don't know where Glint and Bev are, but I did see them use Featherfall, so I know that they got out safely, as it were.
All right. So let me catch up. I've been Just kind of waking up, and it hasn't been a restful sleep.
Can I do a medicine check on him while he's speaking?
Yeah, while he's speaking, you start touching his arms and poking him in the stomach and doing all these things to try. Do a little medical assessment.
All right, that is a 15.
What did you get?
15.
15, got it. What do you tell us, Arvolk? How exhausted are you? Are you bloodied?
Yeah.
What lingering injuries do you got?
Oh yeah. I mean, even after the heal, he is extremely bloodied. And probably like certainly when she found him, like you said, kind of like hit by a train, bloodied. Like he would have had multiple like pretty severe lacerations, a lot of bumps and bruises. He's not moving around comfortably for sure, because every little movement causes some sharp internal pain. Yeah, he's kind of a bad wreck, and he doesn't seem like he has a lot of strength or like energy or whatever in his muscles. So yeah, he's not good.
He hands you a healing potion.
Where are you exhaustion wise?
One.
So he's
I
exhausted
took
as well.
Yeah, I took one.
and-
I had two lingering injuries. I took two a crit, and then I super failed a death save. So I took an exhaustion and organ damage.
Organ damage. Did you take one for actually being brought to 0?
Yeah, that was the lingering injury.
Got it. Okay. So what's the lingering injury you got? Organ damage?
Yeah, it's the same one
Okay.
that Ember has. I have the DC 15 for con
Everyone's
save.
getting organ damage. We're a very organ damaged group here.
Yeah. If you guys like take all of your healthy organs and combine them, you could be a one full healthy person.
There's a whole lot on the outside should be on the inside.
Exactly.
I'm imagining that if you've ever seen footage of somebody maybe like a skier or something like that, but going like way too fast and like ragdolling through nature, that's what I'm assuming happened to Starbuck.
Well,
So
the imagery
so he looks
of
at
you-
whatever the end of that is.
Yeah, well, the image, like again, the same movie Survivor, with Barb, when they like throw themselves down the mountain and they're
Right.
smashing off of trees and hitting rocks and stuff. That was the mental image I was using as the descriptor. So yeah, you're like ragdolling down through the trees and stuff, and just full like opposite momentum, bam, off the side of a tree and stuff. So Yvain, to complete your check, to finalize the information of your check, you know that very high, powerful clerical magic could heal him, regenerations and such, which is very hard to come by, very expensive. Or someone could tend to his organ damage and make a DC and make a wisdom, make a medicine check every day, and after 10 successes, the damage will be resolved.
Right. Once we get back to safety, you're going to be in bed for 10 days. It's fine. With your chest.
Oh.
Goblins, we've got things to do.
I don't like doing that.
I know, but you don't have a choice. It's that or die. I know.
So
I'm a peach. So, are we staying here for an hour? Are we going to go back to the ship?
catch me up again real quick on where everybody is. Finch is with the dragon, and they went away to a mountain, right?
Yeah, by the way, she's going to hand him the her last healing potion. Say, drink this, please.
Yeah. he just kind of grabs a hold of it and holds it off to the side for me. He doesn't take it right away. So Finch and the crown are with the dragon in a mountain. Ember and Nyx are at the ship. We don't know where Glint or Beverly are, and we don't know where the Stabby is at. Oh, the inevitable end is.
shorten that
Is
to
that right?
MB because it's just too much of a mouthful. But yeah, that's it.
All right. What time is it about? Do you think? Is it like midnight or?
It's just now getting dark. It's winter time, so I would think it's about 7-ish.
All right.
PM.
It's
I
getting
can
late.
druid craft that shit, I think.
I don't think you can druid craft until time, but you know, the sun's gone down. It is late in the evening. It's a little bit of like, you know, like you Zarvog know you're right at some kind of animal den right there. Like something's gonna
Yeah.
be coming around here to go home. So maybe you might want to move a little bit, but the
Right.
darkness is a two-way advantage where you know you can't see bad guys coming, but they can't see you.
Right.
But smell is where your disadvantage is. There are animals that could smell you. I think Zarvol, between you and the druid, I think you guys could find a way to secure yourselves and get some rest for the night. It would be difficult to track in the darkness.
All right. How about this? Can we just have a minute, an hour, whatever? Let's like take a moment and just be here together for a second, and then we'll decide what we're gonna do from there. All right. And so he'll start wandering, you know, not far off, but as you said, far enough away from the animal den that they're not in the direct path back to it if something's coming back to lounge for the night. And you know, try to find a relatively defensible position to kind of just sit down consciously, you know, for a few minutes and kind of catch their breath and talk through navigating their way back potentially or spending the night out here.
All right, make me a survival check just to find kind of somewhere to hold up.
Okay. $23.
23. That's very good, and because of that check, I'm going to give you what you're asking for, as difficult as it may be. You know, you Zarvog are very aware of the wilds and its many dangers. You're both aware of the wilds, but Zarvog, what you're aware of that maybe Yvain is not, is possibility, where you consider, okay, you know, up the mountain there could be like mountain lions or mountainous-based creatures, so we can't rely on having that to our back. We can't rely on the low ground. Darkness is helpful, but we need to be sort of have our backs to the wall a little bit. We have to obscure ourselves. It's a bit of a struggle. It's not easy to find the perfect place to hide. But you guys probably like slog for a bit. Since it's darkness, there's no real way to like see your surroundings. So you kind of find yourself dipping down to about, probably here is the best place to be, where there's not too much high ground behind you, so you don't have to worry about fucking mountain lions descending on you. But it's enough that it will probably obscure you and protect you. You kind of pitch yourself in here and give yourselves a moment of reprieve. You're also, as far as you know, actually, I'll leave it to you, Zarvog. Would you like to be upwind or downwind? Do you want the wind sort of catching your scent and traveling up, or do you want it catching your scent and traveling down?
I want to be upwind.
Want to be upwind, so the wind's kind of traveling up the side of the ridge upward. Okay, cool. So I'll say you catch a little bit of a crosswind, but generally it's kind of making its way up. It wasn't the easiest to find, but it's certainly better, and you find quite a pretty good spot. You're pretty sure you're in a good spot. And you can take a minute of respite there. Are you guys trying to get a short rest?
Yes.
All right.
I mean, at least.
Yeah, if you want to settle in and try and long rest, you certainly can. Is that the plan?
Yep. Oh, I don't know. We were going to discuss it.
Yeah.
So turns out we found a pretty good spot. So I guess we have the option of either staying here for the night or taking a breather here real quick and then trying to make our way back to the ship.
It's probably an hour, hour and a half away. Safety numbers and all that. But
That'll get us pretty deep into the night.
we go to sleep, contact someone, contact Ember.
Oh, yeah.
Let them know we're an hour away. We'll meet up in the morning.
Great, that's a good idea. Sounds good. Yeah, so I will start attuning to the Oni blade.
Okay. Got it. We'll start tuning to the Oni blade. So you're at least taking first watch. Yeah, there's gonna be 4 hours where you guys are, or you leave your dog up. So there will really just be 2 hours
I'm
where
happy.
you guys. There is happy. That is very true. So you guys will be able to take a full round of watches. Zarvolg, it sounds like you're taking first.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, let's come back to that. You guys begin to try and take a long rest out in the wilds. I want to come over to Glint and see how Glint and Beverly are doing. We're going to get to you, Finch. Don't worry, I promise. You're just a little bit of a flying through the air moment right now, but we're going to come to you real soon, I promise. So after a minute, the sun goes down, Glint. You find yourselves, you and Beverly and your jolly children, one of them carrying the corpse of good Frederick the Brave. You guys come to sort of crest one of these like smaller peaks. Do you wish to ford forth, or will you take a long rest?
I think we're gonna keep on going for the ship.
Got it. Beverly says, "Are you sure you're? You just spent the last 10 minutes talking to me about a play I've never heard about."
Oh, rhododendrons. My apologies.
No,
I
that's
just think
okay.
they're
I just
neat.
and you use the word neat. I've never heard you use the word neat. I'm just a little worried about you. Are you sure you're okay to keep going?
No, but we still should. We're sort of in the middle of nowhere. And I fear if we are not able to regroup with our companions, either we or they might be in danger come nightfall. So I'd rather press on and then perhaps aid in erecting perhaps a shelter or something of the nature, and then enter hibernation.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go then. All right, we're going to consider this a forced march as you start marching through the pitch in the night. I want you to make me a con save.
Alrighty. Con save. It'll be an 18.
An 18, you are moving well. Beverly is fording forth. You get the sense that, you're a little in your senses, and you see Beverly like, she's always been the kind of like the person to be protected and the person to be shown the way and the person who is like not really relied on for much other than like cleaning of armor, or, like carrying things, or like minor combat situations. And in this moment, you're kind of really leaning on her, and she's doing her best to rise to the challenge, and kind of putting on a brave face, and doing it well. She sort of pushes past the exhaustion as well. And she is sort of guiding you through the woods, being the head survivalist here. Go ahead and make another con save for hour 2.
Okay. 16.
16. You are doing well, despite everything. Your dwarven fortitude carrying you forward through the night. And it seems that the training that Beverly has undergone and the magical necklace around her neck seem to be helping her with the exhaustion as well. It is at this point that Beverly says, "Look, Glenn, look over there." You look through the trees down the peak that you're on, and you see the glimmering glow of pink lights, not unlike the runestone that was attached to your ship when you were once airborne.
Oh, well, that's quite promising. I think we may have found our mark, Beverly. You've done quite well during all this. Just maybe another 100 yards really to go.
You see Deacon, who is now carrying Frederick, and Frederick's head turns to you and goes, "Good job, Beverly. You're doing so good." And for some very rude reason, Beverly seems to ignore Frederick and says, "All right, well, let's keep going, Glenn." And
Thank you,
yeah.
thank you, Deacon. Glenn says to Beverly, "I'm so proud of you."
Oh, sure thing, Glenn. Sure thing.
I hope when they bury me beneath the mountain that you'll have learned some things from me.
Oh, okay, sure. That'd be great. I've already learned a couple new words from you. So yeah, I'm sure they will when they bury me. Anyway, and you guys will sort of hobble and strain down the side of the mountain. If you ever saw Master and Commander when they're trying to make their way back to the ship and the one guy's like, "Just go on ahead." That's kind of you in this moment. Where Frederick's like, "We're almost home, Glenn. You saved us." And Beverly kind of like leaves you in the care of one of your skellies to help you kind of down the way. She's like, "I'm gonna go make sure it's safe." And it's gonna kind of, yeah.
Go on ahead, Claudia. I have full faith in your abilities.
Oh, that's really weird. Okay, sure. So you have one skelly you're leaning your hand off of, another skelly who's, well, actually Beverly for some reason is now carrying Frederick, and then Deacon is running off to go look at the ship, or Claudia, excuse me, is going off to look at the ship. And your other two just sort of serve as a guard, keep an eye on you. It's fine. Claudia's sort of, you can just bring her back tomorrow if something happens to her. And Beverly's gonna run off. Nyx, we're gonna come back to you for a hot second. There is something outside. You hear stones off the side of the mountain sort of falling over themselves, admitting to you the presence of something coming near and coming rather quickly. In fact, nothing of great size, but something's coming towards you and your companions. What do you do? Ember is unconscious. It's up to you to protect them.
Could I do a perception check? I have dark vision up to 60 feet.
Yeah, you go over to the window and poke your head out to try and look. Are you trying to do this stealthily?
Yeah, yes.
All right, roll me a stealth check and a perception check.
Okay. Perception was 18 and stealth is a 21.
Stealth is a 21. You poke your head out. Sorry, I'll go to the bottom of the frame. Poke your head out, kind of look around. And you do see to your relief, you see sort of pulling out of her back, you see the kind of teenage form of the Squire Beverly bearing this sort of like moon shining spear that you recognize. It's Beverly. Beverly is sort of making her way down the mountain, looking to be in fairly good health, if not for some bandages wrapped around her.
That's a relief. Can Nyx like go run out to meet them?
Absolutely. You run out to see Beverly. Beverly goes, "Nyx, Nyx!" He sort of waves her hand and kind of like, oh, Finch would be very disappointed, but she's going to drop her shield in this moment of excitement of seeing friends. And is gonna come over and like wrap her arms around you, give you a hug, in a very like relief kind of way. And go, "Oh my Bahamut, are you okay? Is everyone okay?"
No, well, barely.
No.
She found us, and Ember is.
Oh no.
He's stable, but he's not doing well.
Oh, okay. Is Finch okay? Is everybody else okay?
Actually, Finch was taken by a dragon, but they seem to be a very friendly and helpful dragon, so I think that's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And Zarvog fell somewhere. We weren't sure, so Yvain went to find Zarvog with Finn.
Oh, okay.
But you can trust in Yvain. She is very determined.
Right. That was the ultimate whiplash moment of Yvain's of Beverly's life. like a dragon got Finch. She's like, oh no, and you're like, but it was a friendly dragon. Oh, and it's like, but we almost all died in the crash. Oh no, but everyone's alive. Oh, Ember got attacked by the assassin lady. Oh no, and she's like, please stop, I can't handle it. But yeah, at this point, Beverly's like leaning on her spear, going, just like fully, like fighting off a small panic attack. She's like, okay, it sounds like we're doing the best we can. Glint's right over there. He's he's really loopy and banged up. Glint over here, it's me. Claudia, it's me.
Is that you, Sheenley? How are you doing? Why are you out here? It's quite dangerous out.
And Beverly's like, see, to you, Nyx. And Glint, you see that your Skelly has made a new Skelly friend. This one has pointy ears. You've never seen a skeleton with pointy ears.
Oh, you have ears built in. Fascinating. Would you like to know an important piece of knowledge that took me years to learn?
She pokes you. She like gives you a gesture, Nyx. Like she kind of like shrugs at you.
Maybe we should do a medicine check on Glint here. Maybe try to get him a little more stable.
Yeah, you're better at it than I tried, but I
don't
know.
You can trust me. I'm practically a doctor. My prognosis is I'm somewhat fucked.
Oh God, let's get him over here to where Ember is. We'll just put everyone, put all the injured people close together. It'll be easier to keep an eye on them, I guess.
She goes, he's been saying all kinds of really strange words that I don't think are actually real. They're really a lot of syllables. I think he's just kind of, I don't know.
Did you know the average mouth of a human produces between 1.5 and 1.5 liters of saliva a day, but the average dwarf only half that?
See? I don't know if that's real or not.
I don't know either, Bev. Let's just get him over here and we'll do a medicine check and we're gonna do the best that we can. I don't think either of us are really cut out for this in the short term, but we've got this. You and I are gonna get through this.
She goes, I'm so underqualified for this situation.
Oh, hard save, Bev. Hard save.
We're good. Okay, we got this. Okay, right over here, Glint. It's me. It's one of your skeletons.
Oh, yes.
Come on. And we'll
toddle.
Yep, help Glint up into the thing. She's gonna like look at the skeletons and be like, "Can you help me get him?" And the skeleton just kind of like looks at her and goes, "But come on." In the secret skeleton language, he goes, "I only serve the god master Glint, for he is the Lich King of all things." We'll just but eventually they get you onto the ship, Glint.
Does Glint see like the field of his shattered other skeleton children?
Oh yeah.
As he'll come along on like unsteady feet and brush into the confines of this shattered ship, he'll look upon the broken bodies of his children and shed a single tear before, with just bone deep exhaustion, just says, "Come now, kids, you must get up. It's time to arise. We have much work to do, and I need a very long sleep. And I'm going to use my 5th level spell slot to cast Animate Dead."
And Frederick, and you tell me how many more rise from the dead. Are you reasserting control over your favorites?
So I've already reasserted control for the day, so this is just reanimating more to then reassert control for tomorrow as well.
Got it. Glint sort of sort of like raises his hand, greenish necrotic energy laces through his finger, and he's like, "Hurrah!" And then it all sort of spills out, and the green mist sort of curls along the ground and into the mouths of the skeletons as they sort of
Okay, so
reassemble themselves and start standing.
so with my spell slots that I have available, Precious Frederick, and then also 2, 4 plus 6, and then 9 of the Chitines will be animated.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, great. Fantastic. All of the basic, I gotta say, Nix, like, you're from the Feywild, and just to give you some insight about the Feywild, there's like no undead here. Like, it just doesn't happen. Just for whatever reason. So this is pretty much probably your first interaction with the undead is like Glint and everything. And he like spills this green necrosis out, and like all of these dead bodies just suddenly like rise up around you like an army of the dead. Very disconcerting. And they all will sort of get ready.
Yeah, and then Glint will abruptly faceplant.
Oh Lord, oh Lord.
Okay.
Can we go ahead and do a medicine check on Glint here?
Yeah, you do that. I'm gonna get Ember back up if he's unconscious. I'm gonna go get him some healing. So go ahead and make me a medicine check to see how Glint's doing and see if you'll, be okay.
Oh. Ah, no, I got a 7.
Man, Glint has got all kinds of problems, and some of them, it's very hard to assess psychological problems when they are asleep. So I'll say with a 7, you're feeling like a little uncomfortable, but the skeletons are a little distracted, but for whatever reason, you're just not fully get an assessment of Glint. We'll say that what you do detect is that Glint is exhausted, and more than that, maybe you try again tomorrow when he's a little more himself. But in this moment, you just kind of like let him rest. I'll say you're certain he's not going to die in his sleep. You're certain that's not going to happen. You're also certain that he's exhausted. And anything more than that, maybe you can check in on in the morning.
Okay.
All right.
I guess we can just make them comfortable.
Yeah, you just kind of like put him in one of the half-functioning cots and let him fall asleep. Ember, you will be roused back to consciousness at this late evening. You are going to feel almost again that sort of like divine blood within you sort of warm as you feel the power of divine healing flow through you again. Is not going to be much. You will awaken with a great deal of pain, but you are going to awaken with a hot 8 hit points as Beverly gives you the heals. You awaken to the sight of Beverly, dirty, beaten up, bandaged, sort of over top of you in the hull of the ship.
And Ember will just pass right back out.
Yeah, you kind of like, then you give Beverly like a little like, look, and then just pass back out. Beverly kind of goes, okay, yeah, that's good. And she is going to go to you next and go, okay, is there anything else I can do, or should I take a watch?
I think that's a wonderful idea. I think we should take turns watching. Maybe we should get a rest in.
Okay. All right. I can take as many watches as you want. Just let me know.
Are Glint skeletons gonna help us out? Or are they like not at this point? Like, will they at least like protect Glint?
I imagine they have formed maybe a sort of phalanx perimeter around the opening of the ship. I imagine that's kind of what they do. So yeah, there's more than a dozen skeletons outside that have formed like a phalanx at the mouth of the ship.
Okay, good.
You do see that Beverly, like, despite her wanting to help, you do see these like dark circles under her eyes and her paleness. You get the sense.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna take the first watch. So Bev can get some rest.
Okay. I'll try and get some sleep. And she'll kind of doff her armor and she'll go retrieve her shield, and she falls asleep as before her head even hits the pillow. She's like out, and you can go ahead and take a watch. Between Beverly probably, and humans sleep for 6 hours, so you're like, maybe you let her do her thing. But however you decide to sort out your watches, it probably goes a little late. But you guys get a long rest as the sun rises. Nyx, Beverly, Ember, and Glint will all gain a long rest. Meanwhile, in the woods with Yvain and Zarvold, you guys sort your situation out. And just to save you some time, Zarvold will attune to the Dream Cleaver, and if you're trying to contact Ember, there will be no response. There will be no dreams to be found. Oh, no, that's not true at all. We will come back to that then. We will. I just want to get to Finch. Let's do it. This will be our last thing before we get to Finch. What are you doing back here, man? You're supposed to be on the ship. Okay, at the end of your watch, Zarvog, so you're going to be having to head to bed soon if you don't want to disrupt your long rest. But you're going to cast Dream. You're going to go to Ember, and I'm going to say that considering Ember's assault.
Let me take this, Ryan, because I want to describe for Zarvog exactly what he sees.
All right.
Oh no, this was a mistake. Let me out! Let me out of this cage.
It's a blasted plane, and there are burnt piles of drow bodies, and Ember is just calling fire down, and men, women, children, it really doesn't matter. Ember's eyes are absolutely gas flame blue, and he is just hurling flaming death everywhere. I mean, the ground in places is solidified molten sand that's been turned to rough glass, and he just goes without end. And it doesn't matter if they're running away from him, because most of them are. Just an embodiment of fiery rage. That's the dream that you walk into. Welcome to my house.
That sounds about right. So Zarvog will. He's not going to change the landscape of the dream at all. He's actually going to let Ember continue to have his fiery destruction dream. But he's going to walk up behind Ember and put a hand on his shoulder and say, "Man, you are in really, really bad shape upstairs, dude." and then he's going to say, "I have you, Vane. We are in the woods, but safe. We'll be by in the morning."
And not a nod of acknowledgement, but you're close enough that you can see his jaw is just ground tight, and there is not enough smoldering charnel body death anywhere within vision. So more is being had.
All right, then. Good talk. See you in the morning. And he'll pop back out of the dream.
I'm imagining the beginning of the Lord of the Rings where Sauron is just boom, boom, and it's just killing people. And I'm inputting Zarvol going, "Oh, hey, buddy, can you? I just wanted to have a quick word." And you hope Ember received that information. He should have, because that's how the spell works. But he's really
He nodded
into what
his
he's
head.
doing. Yeah, he's really into what he's doing.
You have to be receptive to the message.
Exactly. You get the sense, Zarvog, that even per the great power of your dream spell, you probably have a hard time trying to alter it to anything less fiery. Yeah, that'll require some saving throws for you to alter it at this point. You get this; he's pretty hell bent on this, and you leave and find some sleep. And it seems that the Wild Mother is on your side this evening because nothing is going to come and try and murder you. So you guys, along with Ben and Happy, will receive a long rest. We are going to come to Finch now, who's been so patiently waiting. Thank you, Finch. You have been unconscious, but you are going to awaken somewhere very. You. All right, I'm gonna just head over there. Actually, I hope I don't reveal anything too cool. No, don't look. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? I feel like a dwarf trying to mine. Where is that? There it is. Finch and guard. You awaken. And you are certainly worse for wear. Probably as worse as you've ever been for wear. But you wake up in this very, very quiet place. In all honesty, it's probably just kind of like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to express this? Let's do darkness. Yeah, that's perfect, actually. You awaken in this, like, your body is really, really hurt, but you are in a dormitory of some kind, a barracks of some kind. There's all kinds of different bunk beds and chests, but it is empty. It is candlelit and looks very sort of formalized. All the beds are very, very neatly made. It looks somewhat recently lived in. You wake up sort of hurt. Your armor is, you're not in your armor. You don't have any of your equipment or anything like that. You're in kind of like robes almost, like not like a bathrobe or anything, but like
Footy
like,
pajamas.
Yeah, you got bunny slippers and everything, little Bahamut slippers. No, you're in like almost like a priestly robe or like a monthly robe of some kind. It's very, very, very simple. It's not burlap, but it's like simple, sort of like grays and whites. You kind of wake up with your body hurts like crazy, but you have undergone a long rest.
Cool.
No sign of your allies, no sign of your equipment.
I think I would like open my eyes slowly and like sit up and look around and like observe what I'm wearing. Oh my God, am I dead? I'm dead.
It's true. The last thing you remember is Bahamut descending.
Yeah. Okay. So the ship went down. Just walk this back. Ship went down. I went down. There was a dragon. I remember getting, and I'm dead. That is the only explanation. I'm dead. Okay. I'm dead. And I think Finch is having like an existential crisis where they're just like going to keep repeating like that they're dead, trying to like reckon it and be like one with the fact that they're dead, but also like panicking about the fact that they think that they're dead.
That's fair. I can't blame you, my friend. I can't blame you on that one. It's a little hard to deal with.
Okay, all right. Not what I thought the afterlife would look like, but that's cool. Modesty is my jam. All right. Okay. And like you said, there's like nothing in there, right? It's just like this empty.
It is dormant. It is exactly as it looks. It is.
Okay.
It looks like some kind of barracks or dorm. You don't know.
All right. This
all
can't be.
very well put together. Very.
Okay.
Beds are all neatly made. Yeah.
I think at this point too, I would try and like recall like anything that I may have been taught, like whether it was by like a mentor or like a warrior of like their experience of like having like a near death experience and like anything like, you know, like trying to reconcile like what people's accounts of like death have been like. And I'm just gonna like nothing is like matching up. So I'm just gonna okay.
We'll tell you what, make me a religion check. See if you're like see if this all makes sense with what you know of life and death, because you.
Okay. All right, that's not bad. Let's see here. Religion. Okay, so it's a 16 on the dice minus 2, so 14.
14. It's like very generally, because you rolled a 14. You know that like basically what happens is the Raven Queen shows up and she like takes your soul, she takes you to your afterlife. And that's like the bare basics, which is not what happened to you. But Bahamut himself came down to get you, which you're like as much as you hate to admit it, you're like maybe, I mean, you're an ASMR, like maybe you get a special treatment situation, you don't know.
Yeah.
But you do know that because you are a follower of Bahamut and you've been a pretty good one, you probably go to the home plane of Bahamut, which is Mount Celestia, which is supposed to be like a big, beautiful mountain with singing choirs and like angels and shit. And
yeah,
this could be Mount Celestia. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, in that case, I think then I would like slowly get up and try to look to see like if there was like a passage like on either side, like if there was a like a hallway I could go down or like a door or anything like that.
Yeah, you get up with a certain strain.
I picture like Grandpa Joe from like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. Where you sort of, you're like, I feel great. I'm dead. I don't care about.
I mean,
no consequences now. I live my life good.
fuck if I care. Oh, can I say fuck on Mount Celestia? Like,
yeah, you're like throw a fuck out there. You're like, oh shit. But you get up. You look around. You're looking for an exit. The only exit you see is at the end of the hall. There's a number of like marble stairs that seem to lead up out of the door. You want to go there?
Yes, and a really important detail. Okay, I want to make sure. Is this a robe that I'm wearing? Or are we talking like a hospital gown where like my butt is out?
Your butt is not out. You're
just wanted to clear that up. Okay.
That's fair. That's fair. You're like, it is like it's not like a Jedi robe.
Yeah.
Dare I say it? It's almost poncho-like, not entirely. It's got like a little bit of like a V there, like nothing too deep, but like a little bit of it there, and there's like a hood, but like it's very deep, like it goes all the way to the ground. Again, think like monk. Yeah, long skirts. Probably like a mantle, like a simple mantle that it covers you up entirely.
Got it. Okay, I'm gonna head.
You're barefoot, which is there's a couple. You do notice as you jump off like some very simple, just like very simple shoes, like very very simple.
Okay.
Again, very monkly. You get to toss those on if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that. Is there any sign of like my armor anywhere? Like what? Because I see that there's like chests at the end of the bed. Like, are those there in real life? And like, can I look in there? Like, or you know, no, I don't think I'm gonna care because I'm dead. And why would I need armor if I'm dead? So I'm just gonna walk towards the door.
You go. I like the Finch's line of thought is like, I should probably get my wait. Yeah, gives a shit. I'm dead. Fuck it. Finch, I like that Finch has gone through many cycles, which is like disbelief, acceptance, completely skips over grief, and goes right to like let's make the best of this, baby. And you start wandering down the hall. Your body still hurts. Maybe it's a little surprising that you're in any sort of physical pain while dead, but whatever. You make your way up the steps. It's a little bit like going up the steps after an intense leg day, where you're like,
oh yeah,
you're holding the wall a little bit.
Yeah. That's weird. Why am I? Okay, you know what? I feel like I'm not going to question his wisdom or the reason why things are the way they are. I'm just going to enjoy this for what it is. Yep, I'm going to stumble down the hallway.
I think Finch has got a little bit of what Flint's got going on, where there's like this slight delirium as part of their wounds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, it's fun. Going down?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. What else am I supposed to think? Like, well, I mean,
Oh, Dad,
who am I to question the great protector god? Okay.
You follow all these lit braziers. You're wandering around. You make your way up some more steps. God, there's a lot of stairs in this.
I admire the marble work. This is nice. This is a little bit more on par with what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe a little simple for Divine Realm, but who am I to
Yeah.
judge? You know,
Again,
whatever.
yeah.
Expected a little bit more. I've been to temples.
Beauty and
here.
simplicity. I think that's what someone told me once, I guess.
Yeah. And you get up to the main floor, to which you come to. Oh my God. This hallway. There is a. You kind of come to this hallway. You look left and see this like, what looks to be like some kind of weird, like training room. Maybe there's some like you've seen this kind of style of like pit matched fighting before. There's some old armor. Not old actually. It's nice enough armor, but it's like padded like training armor basically. It's empty. You're like, oh, okay, cool. There's a door.
Yeah, keep yourself busy for eternity, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, I guess. There's a fairly simple wooden door to your left. Again, a little simple for, eternal slumber, but again, whatever. Good judge. You come to this hallway here. Sorry, I'm trying to position the camera so I'm not spoiling nothing for you. But you come to this hallway where a little bit of sunlight actually begins to sort of pour through now. I'm going to actually swap it to here and turn the exposure down a bit. You come to this sort of vaulted hallway where you're like, okay, this may be a little more what we're talking about.
Yeah.
There are some like velvet padded seats that nobody looks to have been sitting on. Some strange plinths with weird items sitting upon them. There's a doorway right ahead of you, but there's a hallway to your right as well.
A little empty for what I thought eternity would be like, but again, not going to question it. I appreciate it. I appreciate a good reveal. Okay.
Yeah, good reveal. Which way you going? You going right down there? Or you going left down here? Where's the play?
Ooh, let's see here. I feel like my inclination is to go right, so I'm going to go straight.
Oh, so you want to go? You want to keep down this hall?
Yeah, I feel like just go straight down the hall.
You're like doody doody doo.
I feel like Finch is just like very carelessly like ambling along, like, oh, okay, like just all right, this is what it is. I feel like they would like kind of walk over to like admire this like statuette over here, just like very casually taking it all in, like, so this is death, huh?
Oh, cool. Some really weird, very old relic of some kind. It looks like you know how the Pope has that like ball thing on it. It looks a little like that. It's some kind of really, really old, like religious relic, maybe. And you're like, cool. There's some windows. Would you like to look through the windows?
Yeah, and I feel like too, if I'm holding the relic, I pretend to drop it and like, ooh, almost had it, and like put it back.
This is my favorite Finch of all time. So you like look through the window here. You are going to see a big, beautiful courtyard. There's a walk space around the courtyard, but you do see there's some kind of like fountain or something through there. It looks like a little garden space out through there. If you look through this hole in the wall, you actually look out, and you're gonna see a couple of things. You see that you're on like the top of a mountain or something, and you're like, okay, there, you made Celestia. Checks out. There's some other stuff. There's some braziers out there, like a walkway up to something. Pretty cool. You keep wandering along. You get to this door that leads out to the courtyard. You want to go out to the courtyard or the next room right through here?
Yeah, let's peek in the courtyard. That looked nice.
You peek through the courtyard. You're looking in, and it is a very nice courtyard, despite the cold up here. Your cloak is good enough to kind of keep you warm enough. It is fur lined, probably. There's probably some small elements of fur lining. And you see like all of this beautiful vegetation. It's lightly snowed. You know those like Japanese gardens in the middle of like those houses, and there's like almost like sand gardens and like plants. It's a little like that, and it's very nice. They've got these like hanging baskets where like strange plants, like mountain plants are growing. There's a central, beautiful sort of pond in the middle of the courtyard. It's very nice.
Can I walk up to like any of the plants that are like there? I'm not like just close enough to like touch any of them.
Yeah, you walk up to like one of these hanging baskets and give it a little poke. What are you gonna do?
Okay. I feel like again we're gonna go with the Willy Wonka theme and see if the schnozberries taste like schnozberries. So I'm gonna like pick something out there and like lick it.
Yeah, you like take it. You take this. Oh fuck! You take this. Oh no! You pick this
die
red.
again.
You pick this red spotted mushroom off of the thing. You're like, and you like lick it, and you're like,
Hypnosis mode.
whatever. And make me a con save.
That's hilarious. Oh, that's not so good.
Good.
It's a 15 total.
A 15. Fuck it. You fail just by one, and but not by much. So you just kind of like, wow, the colors are beautiful. These are really beautiful colors. Everything starts to get like a little like extra saturated, and you do have the poison condition. You're just like, oh wow. You're just like feeling a little extra loopy in this moment.
I love it. I love it. I feel like that episode of Vox Machina when they like a Keyleth and
Yeah.
are in the Feywild. Yeah.
It's a little like that. Like things are like a little too big and a little too small at different points. And you're like, wow.
I love that. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go back out of the courtyard then and into that, like keep going down that hallway.
I'm just gonna pick like some very, yeah. You're definitely having like a great moment of like ecstasy right now, where you're like,
Yeah.
You turn around, you start making your way down the corridor. You're not unbalanced or anything.
They run
like,
into the wall before they like.
yeah, cool. It's like the marbles. Great.
It's a really cold. You like put their face on it.
Yeah, you're just having like a. You walk through the courtyard into here. You are going to see like these big gold doors with some beautiful braziers. You're like, oh, that's pretty nice. It's like a grand entryway or something. And you see some benches, and you also see what looks to be like some kind of like temple space at the back, some chapel of worship and altar. Yeah, it looks pretty cool down there. You want to go check it out, or you want to go through the big doors?
Yeah, let's check out the altar first. And I think as I walk down this hallway here, I'm going to think this place has a lot of places to sit for no bodies to be existing.
Exactly. You're like, the ceiling is really high and vaulted, very cathedral-esque, and you're like, that's nice. And
that's nice.
Yeah, you walk down. And yeah, you see these beautiful statues. Definitely warriors bearing symbols of Bahamut. You're like, all right, Bahamut, my guy.
And I do some weird like prayer thing, like.
You make up your own little like dragon wings.
Yeah, exactly that.
And you see that there are like dragons, these like crane dragons that are like holding braziers of fire, almost as if they breathe fire into the braziers, and they look really cool. There's all of these places to sit. There's some food on the altar, some offerings. You also see that there's a guy sitting here. There's paintings and stuff, gildings of the dragons, and pictures of really important saintly people, and you're like, all right, cool. And there is a guy sitting there, and you see this like from the back, he just looks like this really like heavily furred man who's kind of like sitting at prayer. He has a book open in front of him. There's also an exit to the right over there if you wanted to disregard him. It's entirely your choice, man. You're dead. You got all the time in the world.
I think I wouldn't want to disturb someone else in the afterlife right now. I'm still like too intrigued, like checking everything out. So I think, yeah, I don't think I want to go out those big doors yet. So I'm gonna like, yeah, make that turn into that little like cubby alcove.
Fully ignore. Like, okay, there's someone that's good enough for me. And leave. If you don't want to disturb his prayer, why don't you make me a little stealth?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Tiptoe.
Disadvantage, of course, you're poisoned, so you're a little stumbling.
All right, let's see here. All right, well, that's a 2.
All right, you're like You're like, oh yeah, we're dragging fucking wood. And you see him, you're like, shh, like tell yourself, shh. And you're like, but you know how when your feet is on like stone, it goes like
Slap it. Yeah, you hear
like the
the slap.
slapping. So you kind of like you just like kind of start walking along, kind of slapping your feet.
They run into a pew and it like slides across the floor.
Oh shit, man! And this guy like sort of like turns. You kind of like look behind you, like, oh, did they disturb him? Like definitely like trying to get breakfast at 4 a.m. when you've like walked in your parents, like try not to wake up your parents. This guy turns around. You see this guy like long elven ears. Looks over at you. He does have like a symbol of the Bahamut. And he like turns and kind of like sees you. He goes, and he like almost drops his book and like puts it down. He goes, you're awake. And he's gonna just sort of run over to you, and he's gonna like be like, you're awake?
Aren't we all awake? I'm gonna start trying to touch his face.
He's like, great. He's like, you're awake, great. And he doesn't stop you, but he's like, he doesn't know what to do. You're like, yeah, you feel him, and he's like, he's got a little. He feels real and good and everything. He's not exactly what you thought a dead spirit might feel like.
Yeah, this is so bizarre. It's not anything that I thought it would be like. It's not bad. No offense or anything. I feel like I'm gonna like squish his cheeks and stuff. It's not. You're just so lifelike.
I am, I suppose, it's pretty. Sorry, I'm a little caught off guard. I should tell you my name. And he will gesture to himself. As his name is. He's gonna go. I am. There it is. I am Darrow. I am Father Darrow. It is a great honor to meet you.
Okay, we use names here. Okay, all right. In life, I was called Finch. Pleasure to meet you.
And he'll shake your hand. And he goes, pleasure to meet you, Finch. You're alive. Just so you know, you are very much alive. I am alive as well.
What do you mean? I looked outside. This is Mount Celestia, right? I died. I know it's going to be hard to believe, but my friends and I were on a ship, and then all of these crazy things happened, and then somebody turned into an eagle, and then I think the ship got dropped on my head, and then I was picked up by a dragon, and now I'm here, and I'm dead.
You see him like trying to hold back, like desperately trying to hold back. Like his cheeks go red, where he's like it's breaking through his lips, and he's kind of like.
I mean, it is funny. I mean, if you think about it, I had a whole airship dropped on me.
It's not funny. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be. It's not. That's
No,
terrible.
you can laugh. I'm laughing about it. I mean, I was gonna say we're dead, but you said I'm alive.
I see why you think you're dead. Now that you've explained it, it makes perfect sense. I assure you, you are very much alive. You've been brought back. You've been brought here. You are in the Temple of the Metallic Order. You are very much alive. You are in a mountain called Rhinecleft, and you are a guest of the headmaster.
Okay. I suppose that makes more sense than what I just said to you. Although I liked my story a little bit better, but I'll take this too.
I liked your story better too. I'm afraid the headmaster is currently out seeking your friends out in the wilds.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm sure that he will be eager to speak with you when he returns. Is there anything I can do for you or get you? Do you require any further healing? Are you hungry? You're probably starving.
Yes, I think a meal will be good. And I think they're just gonna, because you said I got like a long rest. So I think they're gonna kind of just like check themselves. I know above the table, I think Finch had the lingering injury that I got was just was a concussion. So like a
Yeah, you
bump
got
to the head.
a very minor concussion
Yeah.
as a result of getting hit by a ship.
Right. So
Um,
I think they're gonna be okay in terms of like healing, but food would be good. Okay, so you said your headmaster is out looking for my friends. Okay, that
yes.
gives me hope. I feel like a lot, and I think I'm gonna try and like, okay, now that I realize like that I'm not dead, try and like recenter myself. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what happened and where everybody was, and I can't. Maybe I don't know, maybe I hit my head a little harder than I thought I did. Okay. I don't think that there is anything else besides maybe a warm meal that we could get for now. And then either perhaps you or when your headmaster returns can start to fill in the gaps. Because like I said, the last I remember is our airship going down and a very large claw picking me up.
That makes sense. Why don't you sit down for a moment and let me just do a quick physical check just to make sure that you are healthy, and then we'll go get you some food, and I'll be happy to explain all I know in this
Okay.
time. And we'll sort of just bring you over to sit down on one of the pews, and he's going to start kind of like, and you'll see that he does produce a cantrip like on the end of like some writing utensil and kind of like do one of those like eye inspections and things. And you'll notice that your wounds have been like sewn, like your open wounds have been sewn and
Okay.
stuff. And he'll say, I'm afraid I don't know much, but the headmaster said that he received an omen or a vision and needed to leave immediately and returned with you. And then said that he was going to return to the wilds to defend your friends, to try and find them and bring them back here. You were brought with a relic the headmaster would not speak of and sealed away.
Okay, yes, I think that's going to catch Finch off guard because they definitely didn't realize that like they had it. Okay. Before anything else, maybe you don't know, but when I was found, was I the only one, or from what you've observed, were there any
I wish I could.
Okay.
I wish I could tell you more. The headmaster was in great haste to return to the wilds to
I
my
understand.
friends. He
Okay.
delivered you and said to heal you, and then he went to his quarters with something. It looked like some kind of reliquary, and told those of us here in the temple to seal his quarters and not enter by any means or for any reason.
Okay. That's what I wanted to ask, is the object that I came in with, when I say protected, I mean there is no way that any humanoid or otherwise could access it.
I admit I do not know, but I do have great faith in the headmaster's wisdom. If anyone could take good responsibility for it, I think it'd be he.
Okay, I will
But he
accept
should
that.
be returning probably soon, within a couple hours at most.
Okay. I will put my faith in that for now. It seems like we are, and like I'll just recall, like having looked out the window. It seems like we are far offset. So I trust it's in good hands for now.
You are in a very remote place in the world, and assaults on this temple has not happened in hundreds of years. I would be most surprised if an adversary would think to come here, let alone attack or muster any kind of force. The headmaster protects this place with great ferocity, and the will of the Platinum Dragon will ensure its safety as well. This place is protected.
I believe that. The item inside that box, a lot of people want it. A lot of people from beyond many reaches. And from what we've observed, myself, my friends, they'll do just about anything to get it. So while I believe you, I wouldn't also be surprised if you should stand guard and be prepared for the unexpected.
We are always prepared and in defense of this place. Our numbers have dwindled over the centuries, but there is much to be defended within these walls, such as the purview of the great battling dragon, as I'm sure you well know.
I do.
Of course.
Okay.
Well, you look to be suffering from a concussion. If you'd allow, I would like to provide you some magical healing to cure you of it, if you wish.
Yes, please. Thank you.
He'll put a hand on his amulet and a hand on your shoulder and say a quiet celestial prayer to Bahamut. And with a simple cure wounds, you suddenly feel like, oh God, that's so much better. And then he will, I think, provide a lesser restoration as well, where suddenly you kind of hit like a warrior as you come out of your microdose, and you're like, oh, all right, you're feeling a lot more yourself, and still sore from wounds and whatnot, but doing a lot better with his healing.
Got it. Okay. Whew. All right. Well, that was a lot to process in a short time frame, but I am, as lovely as the prospect of Mount Celestia was, I am happy to see another day.
Be assured you are safe within these hallowed walls, and your friends will be brought soon. But let us get you some food. We must be strong. Please, right this way.
Sounds good. I'll follow along.
And he will begin to take you down the halls and take you through some more sights, and quickly bring you to the kitchens, where you're going to meet some more people. But before we do that, why don't we take our break now, and we'll be back in about 10-15 minutes.
I love that so much.
Whoops, I found a ancient site. Let's do this. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, we're gonna finish up with Finch super quick, and then we'll report back to everybody else. Finch, you're gonna make your way around the corner, and whatever the name was, Tal'Dorei, they disappeared. Just mark it off so I remember that for the future. Is going to take you around the corner. You go through a couple more hallways. You find yourself kind of looping back to where you were before. And you make your way through these doors over here. And you're going to see a little bit of like a mini feast hall again. It's not super populated. And you see kind of some, what would you see? I think there's some halflings that are like doing some very minor cooking. Back here, they're dressed very priestly, and they kind of like look over and go, "Oh, hello, Father Dero. It's by Bahamut, it's them. Oh goodness. And they'll sort of like do it. I don't know what it is. They do like the Bahamut. They're like, they don't. I'm not making that thing. I'm not making that thing.
I do like this one.
I think that's so fucking dumb. I could get behind like something like that, but it's a little dumb.
That's why I think it's hilarious.
I'll think up something that's like a cool like Bahamut like thing.
Handshake.
We'll say Bahamut being like a bit of like the claw. No, so fucking dumb. I gotta think of something. I imagine them sitting around when they invented the Bahamut religion, going like, "What are we gonna do, man? Like, how are we gonna make this cool?" But anyway, you'll walk in and they'll sort of like put a hand into the chest and kind of say like, welcome, Finch Andegard, welcome. You must be hungry. Let us get something for you. What would you like to eat? Anything you want.
First of all, it's nice to meet you. I feel like
I'm so sorry.
Nope, it is just me. I am just a person. It's cool. It's cool.
Okay.
We're all cool. We're all cool here. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, let me introduce myself at least.
Yes.
My name is Quella Wise Blossom.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Quella
Let's see.
Wise. And this is my sister. This is my sister, Wicketh. And
Pleasure to
Wicketh
meet
gives
you.
you like a little wave and like one of these. Bows the head.
Yeah. Let's see here. It looks like you have quite the spread. What's your specialty? What would you recommend?
Oh, well, we're up in the mountains, so there's lots and lots of like goat meat and such. So we really specialize a lot of like a lot of goat stuff. We could make you like a goat roast. We do have some local vegetables that we grow. There are some fish. We do a little bit of fishing down the mountain. We could do something like that. What would you prefer? Would you prefer like goat or would you like fish?
Sure, let's try the goat. That sounds nice.
Okay, we'll make you like a goat leg roast. Okay, get the and then they all start like running around, and they start lighting up a fire, and one of them like gets one of them out, starts skewering it, and like puts it on the fire, starts turning, and they start like dazzling it with like things and like marinating it and going crazy on it, and he sits you down, and he's gonna like go behind the counter and like get like a ale or something. And he goes, we don't have much to do around here, so we brew our own ale. So see if you like it.
Yeah, I'll take like a swig.
Take a swig. It's good.
Oh,
It's good.
it is.
It's like an IPA thing. It's not the best in the world. It's a little stronger.
That's strong. Yeah, it's strong. It's good. It's good though.
Good. Good. Yeah. Good. And quick as can be, they make some food for you. They bring out like a little appetizer thingy for you, some like bread with some like soup, and then they come out with like this like leg roast with like green beans and like a boiled potato, and like you get the sense that they don't go this all out very often. But they're very much seemingly like trying to impress you, I suppose.
And I think internally Finch is like observing that and is always incredibly appreciative. But I think there is still a part of them where they're like, I literally can't go anywhere, even the mountaintops, without people like just making like such pageantry like for their presence. And they just like continue to long for like a life of normalcy. And it's not again out of a place of like disrespect. Like they recognize like their station and like the place that they hold within like the faith of Bahamut. But I feel like sometimes they like very much just wish like to not be recognized, but they will be very gracious to the people who are providing them with food.
All right. And they'll provide you with food, and you can sit, you can eat a little bit. And Father Darrow, as they're like cooking and cleaning and whatever, running around the kitchen like a couple of mad halflings, he'll turn you in while you're eating. He just kind of watches you eat. Like he has a little ale. And he says, and you find yourself quite hungry, and it is really good. It's actually very good. The food a little better than the ale. And he says, so I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have, if you do have any, or I can simply allow you to eat and wait for the headmaster. But by all means, whatever I can do to make you feel more at ease.
I appreciate that. It's a lot. I feel like well, you had said that you weren't really privy to a lot of information when it comes to my journey here, because this is certainly not our destination. I very much appreciate the rescue, so tip of the hat to you on that, you know. But yeah, I think maybe waiting for the headmaster would be good, just because yeah, I would like to understand. I think I would like to understand a little bit more what their observations are. You said that they had a feeling or a vision, and it caused them to make haste. And now I'm here, and you have a we won't talk about that. And I think they'll get like super awkward because like they're debating whether or not like how much to open up about like what's in the reliquary versus like just not doing that right now.
He'll put a very polite hand up, and he'll say, "I completely understand. And surely, quite wisely, indeed, the headmaster would be able to speak volumes more eloquently and about situations far beyond my comprehension. A most wise decision, if you wish it. I take no offense."
I appreciate that. No, I appreciate the care that you've given me. And I mean, for what it's worth, this did feel like the great life beyond. So got a real nice place here.
Well, thank you. We are very isolated here, and there's not many of us these days, but a home's a home, and we all have our duties of protection to the Platinum Dragon. And ours are here on this mountain.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear that. I think they'll like try and like have like small talk with them. And still and like subconsciously, I think try and like put their own pieces of the puzzle together of like, okay, we were on the airship, like, you know, like kind of replaying like the battle, trying to like think about like the last things that they would have seen, you know, thinking about like where different party members could be. I think they would maybe likely assume that everybody was like in like safe. But I think, yeah, Finch is going to try and like work backwards in their mind of like where everybody could like possibly be.
Got it. Yeah, and if you bring it up here and there, like you bring up the art astronaut spot, for example,
Yeah.
he'll because I presume that you believe that that's related to the League of Miracles. It sounded like you guys had an
Mm-hmm. I mean, one in particular, we have minimal experience, so I feel like that was interesting. Nowhere near that size. And then there was another.
Apologize. I've never heard of the League of Miracles before.
And I'll give them like what information like I'm aware of with that, like through my lived experience. And then I will like through the conversation, I think I'll make mention too of like there was another being there. I'm not really sure how to describe this this entity, and I'll go into detail about like the assassin and just kind of underscore like that's the kind of like danger that like could be lurking or is afoot.
Most disconcerting. Strange, very strange creature. Sort of looks pensively about it, kind of like thinking about that. And yeah, he just kind of small talks with you and will answer any questions and tries to like indulge your need for small talk and is very, very, very polite. Just kind of sits with you and lets you eat and drink and definitely assures you he's like, the headmaster is a great power. He will do all in his power to ensure that your friends are safe. Hopefully he will be able to make it back in time before this assassin deals any kind of deadly blows. You must just simply have faith in the Father.
I do. And I assure you too that for the limited amount of questions that I'm able to conjure up right now, one of my compatriots or two will make up for that in kind. I travel with many scholarly individuals, and I know that they have a greater interest in, because I think like Finch, like it's not like a simple person, but like I feel like they're not like into like some of the stuff that like Ember is into and Yavine is into. They're more like a surface level, and again like strategy, military versus like book smarts, book learning. So I think they'll just like reassure them like kind of like appreciate the quiet now because they're not going to get it when My
your
companion.
friends show up. Yeah.
Correct.
And he'll nod and just kind of go quiet. And just to make a quick sort of retro thing, this would be the monastery of the Tal'Dorei.
Mhm.
I'm looking around and like, this is a monastery. So he just kind of sits back and kind of chills and just like lets you enjoy the quiet. And you get the sense they get a lot of quiet around here. So they're as you speak of your friends, you get the sense he's kind of like not in a bad way. In fact, kind of like,
Like
in a,
intrigued.
interesting. Yeah, like, oh, we're gonna have some liveliness here in the monastery. Very interesting. Yeah, you'll kind of like shake his head and be like, all right, cool. And as you've eaten safety and comfort and amongst your fellow religious kind and chill, we will return back to the mountainside that your party is trying to survive. We will get back to that present. So we are going to start with oh god, we were just here. Hit the wrong button. We're gonna start with our friends in the ship. Eric is loading. So the sun rises, all of you begin to stir. Ember, Glint, Nyx, then Beverly and the Master Builder will all rise slowly but surely, pained. Surely as you do, back out in the cold in the wilds. I want to remind everybody a quick notion that Nyx, you are the only one who was aware of the assassin being there, and nobody else here is aware of that at all, other than Ember, who took the death blow but was unaware of the sequence of events that follows. So keep in mind. But yeah, you all rise within and survive the night, which is super freaking cool. But no sign of Zarvald or Yvain as you rouse. What would you guys in the ship like to do?
Nix, did you see Yvain or Zarvald or Finch for that matter? We figured everyone would be here at the wreckage, but we didn't seem to find any on the way over. And now that I'm conscious, I seem to realize that one, you're not a skeleton, and two, there's only two of you here.
So yeah, about that. Finch got scooped up by what seems to be an ally dragon, a silver one. And Yvain went to find Zarvald with Finn. And yeah, the stabby lady actually came and visited afterwards, and that's why Ember's in this state.
Right, I apologize for that. We did meet her on the way, and she is very fast. Have you seen how she toddles on those legs? It's very fast.
Absolutely terrifying.
It's sort of a scuttle, really. She skitters. It's quite disconcerting. So Finch was carried away by a dragon.
Yes, and he took the crown, and when the stabby lady came and visited, I may have sent her toward the dragon.
Okay. Do we know where the dragon went?
You what?
At the top of that mountain where the little peaks, the twin peak area, is where he said he was headed. So there's that.
Do we know what's at the top of
and
that
Yvain's
mountain?
supposed to meet us here. No, not really. He just said that that's where he was going.
Oh, also, Ryan.
Yeah.
Being honest, you told me to remind you and keep a note. Glenn's second injury was like a punctured stomach,
Ah,
and you said it
yes.
factored in whenever I took a long rest.
Yep. Thank you for reminding me. Let's go see about that. You have a pierced stomach. I need you to make a con save for me as you wake up.
It's a 26.
26. You are fine. You wake up with this horrible feeling in your stomach of like this like burning sensation, but your again your dwarven constitution pushes you through whatever pain that is, and your body kind of spares you whatever might come of that. But let me know again after your next long rest.
Got it.
Ooh, could I maybe do a medicine check on Glint now that he's conscious?
Absolutely.
Ten.
10. 10 will be enough. You kind of like ask Glint, where does it hurt? He points there very sadly. And you will recognize that Glint does indeed have a pierced stomach, which means that stomach acid sort of like flowing like internally. The stomach acid's kind of like flowing into his wounds, and Glint is no doubt in pretty large amounts of pain, but his body is handling it better than most would. And I believe he also has organ damage, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Heart damage.
Heart damage. You also would recognize due to his sort of enduring exhaustion and maybe like kind of the way he moves and kind of like holding onto his heart. You recognize that there's also probably some kind of injury to his heart, some kind of cardiac injury. So he's a little ducked up.
Hmm. What's the prognosis, Doctor?
Anyone else would probably not be walking right now. You are a miracle man.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be a short king. One moment, and Glint's going to just sort of like Professor X, fingers to the side of the temples, cast sending, targeted at Finch.
Fair enough. Which is a good point, Ember. You might recall your familiar was meant to go after Finch. If you cared to check on that.
Absolutely.
All right. Which is a point. Finch, we'll say like as you're eating, a little fiery hand that is red sort of like appears in the kitchen. So it gives you like a little wave. At which point, Ember, your senses sort of span outward. And you'll see Finch sitting at a table in like these like monkly robes with two halflings like cooking up a meal, and Finch is scarfing their face and is hanging out with this like really like not ostentatious, but like sort of monkly looking clerical elven individual in this like marble stone masoned room.
Well, Red will do the hand puppet thing. And Ember's voice comes out of the hand puppet.
Terrifying.
Good morning.
The halflings are like, whoa!
It's okay. Yeah, because I feel like that would be real strange, right? Be like, it's okay, friendly. It's friendly. This is.
I think the cleric is more concerned than anybody. I think the halflings are like, that's awesome. But the cleric's like, that is probably sacrilegious in some way. I don't know how. And he's just like, kind of like, what the fuck? But yes, Ember's voice comes forth.
Okay.
Well, we weren't killed in our sleep, which is a step in the right direction.
Oh, plus. Neither was I.
We're in moderately poor shape. But because Red is there, we will be making our way that way as soon as Yvain shows back up with Zarvog. He apparently had a tumble, and Yvain went to find him. I have a vague recollection of Zarvog saying something in a dream, but I really wasn't paying close attention. Probably something like we'll be there in the morning or the early afternoon or something like that.
See, I said that sounds like a dream. Zarvog is never that nice. Go on.
That's the good news.
Oh, that's good news. Okay. And the bad news.
The bad news is the stabby chick with the glowing purple space cat
Oh, yep.
is
And I'm gonna like
on her-
gesticulate to the cleric with me, like as I said.
is on her way to you.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
She is 100% after apparently the goodie in the box.
Understood. Okay. Okay. I will see if we can dispatch help, but as you can see, and then I'll like feel like I'll pause and it's like as you can see, and then like realize that like Red can't like I guess Red can
yes,
see, right?
Red
Okay.
can.
Okay.
Red has like 60 feet worth of blind vision. So
I feel like as you can see, and then like pause for a minute, like he's
Yes.
Red certainly goes like
okay.
returns to hand motion.
Yes, I feel like I'm gonna be mindful not to be like, this is where I am, just because like I don't know, you know. But I will see if I can dispatch help. In the meantime, if you want to start to be on your way, we'll expect to see you in due time. Please take your time.
That's our plan. Hopefully with some rest, hopefully they were able to get some, but we can do the big flappy bird thing, the big avian wing thing. That'll make things a little bit quicker, but I thought it was important to make sure that you got informed that the inevitable doom, something like that, is headed in your direction.
Oh, yes, stabby chick. Got it. Okay.
And if you need anything, I'll check in periodically with Red, but I can't hike and do that all at the same time because rough terrain and blind is not a good combination.
Please take care of yourself. And I feel like in that moment, Finch is going to feel like just this a tiny twinge of guilt because while Finch can't see them, Ember has described them being like in not good shape. And here is Finch in like a bathrobe eating a feast in this like gorgeous monastery. So they're like doing real okay. Let me figure out the situation here and I will see if we can dispatch aid to make your arrival easier, quicker.
That would
the cleric will say, sorry.
That would be fantastic.
The cleric will say, the headmaster set off some time ago. Should be arriving towards where they are soon enough.
Okay. Would you then recommend, and I'll like us, turn to him and I'll say, should they stay put? Do you think that that is better off if the headmaster has gone to track them, or do you think that they should try and I'm concerned, especially if that assassin is out there and they sound like they're at least hunkered down and safe-ish where they're at for now. Should they stay where they're at, or do you think that they should start to venture towards the mountains?
I admit I'm not much of a survivalist myself, but I have great faith in the master's ability to look and see. He has a magnificent eye and can spot things miles off, much like an eagle. I imagine he'll start maybe at the crash site, perhaps, if you were looking.
Is that where you are, Ember? You are at the crash site?
Yes.
Okay. Then perhaps it's best that you stay there. I am concerned if that assassin is out there. If you venture into the woods, that you'll be out in the open and unprotected. Okay. And you said Yvain and Zarvog are not with you.
Not yet, but again, I'm pretty certain it was Zarvog and using his dream thingy because he doesn't appear in my dreams ever that I can recall. But he
lie.
did. He had something to say, but
He always does.
I was not receptive to information.
That's fair. Understood. Okay. Please be safe, and hopefully we will see you in due time.
Indeed.
And I think once that wraps up, I am going to turn and ask about the accessibility to the temple or the monastery or this keep to like unknown parties, right? Because there's this assassin on the loose. So how accessible is this location to unfriendly entities? Is it like, is there like a hidden gate? Is, you know what I mean? Like you can't just, or is it something where you just like, you just walk up to the gate? Is it a hidden gate? Is it, you know, or like a hidden thing? Like, I think that's what they're trying to ascertain.
He goes, I am not, the headmaster maintains a majority of the defenses of this place. We usually rely on the fact that we are so isolated and secret, unknown to the wider world. We've never really had any issues with invaders or any of the such. This place has been a close kept secret of the faith of Bahamut for many, many centuries. We've not had the need for extensive defenses other than our isolation and our secrecy.
Okay.
But the headmaster may have put up defenses some time ago. I cannot say.
That's fair. Okay. Understood.
It is entirely possible that the headmaster put up certain protections, certain hallowings in the cathedral space itself, but I do not know if that covers the entire monastery.
Okay. All right. Well, we will wait till their return then, and we can kind of see where we're at from there. I don't want to speculate and cause any undue anxiety if there are protections over this place. And even if not, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. So I'm glad to hear that it sounds like my friends are safe or safe-ish for now, and hopefully they'll be located and in our presence shortly.
Well, I wish I knew more. The headmaster knows a great deal. I hold other responsibilities, or the monastery.
Understood.
But please, he'll try and answer any questions you have. But again, he's mostly speculatory about the defenses of this place. You get the sense that this place has never really seen danger ever.
It's concerning. I mean, like, and I don't think Finch is gonna like vocalize that out loud, but like the reality is like while they may have guards or something to that extent, like if they've never really had to exercise like brute force or magic or anything like that to protect, you know, that sanctuary, as much as like I would want to believe like that they know what they're doing in their preparedness. Like I think in just based off of Finch's like lived experience, I think there is like a twinge of concern that maybe they're not like as prepared as they think that they are, just because they've never had to like actually defend themselves, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there is concern the halflings are like inevitable doom. And you get the sense, you know, like these are civilians, and even the cleric, he's no war priest. And if you ask him, he'll say there's only one other in this monastery who is, you know, amongst our the disciples here, other than the headmaster, who of course is not here. The headmaster is magnificently powerful and is the first and last line of defense. We would do what we can. We do, of course, have magics and skills at our beck and call, but we are no militia or army. There's only 4 of us actually in here, other than the headmaster.
Understood. Okay.
Fantastic. It is at this time. I will. Do you wish to still send the sending?
No, I'm good with the hand puppet.
Cool, cool. Ember, you assume you relay the handbook
Yeah.
information? Yeah, okay, cool.
I do have
At
a-
this time,
oh,
oh yeah,
go
go ahead.
Oh, no. So we're in a crashed airship, right?
Right.
Is there like an abundance of metal and wood in this
There
ship?
is an abundance of metal and wood, and it is worth saying that you do see that you would have heard the master builder sort of like walking around the deck, kind of muttering to himself. He goes, "Oh, what a mess! It's gonna take so long to rebuild." He starts to complain and mumble, and you see that he's like moving things here and there, kind of like sorting out the wreckage and like looking at it. And he goes, "Where did the struts go wrong?" You get the sense that he's definitely having some intention of one day salvaging this wreck.
Okay. Master Builder, was it Alva? Is that correct?
Yes, Oliver Stockfield. Oh, I'm Italian, right? That's a right, Master Builder Starkfern. What can I do for you?
Do you need all of the ship?
Well, I would very much like to put it back together one day. Hopefully soon. As soon as I get to civilization, I'll have to be putting a missive out to the Union. Probably come and collect the wreck and certainly the broomstone. Goodness.
Would you like some help with the broomstone? The broomstone. There we go.
There we go. In what kind of way do you mean?
I should, in theory, be able to collect it into a more singular shape, if that helps.
Oh, that would be excellent. Yes, if you could collect them back into their original broomstone forms, that I might even have a chance of reconstructing this thing sooner rather than later. I mean, we're a bit cut in half right now, but it's a good start. Yes, please. And he starts to get a little more excited. You get the sense that the major detriment here is that the broomstone was gone, and at the prospect of it being reassembled, he's like, "Oh, well, I can just break these pieces together." And so it's going over like rope and wood, and gets a little excited. Yeah, what would you like to cast?
Yeah. So, the broomstones. How large are they, roughly, and how many are they?
There is one that is fully assembled at the back of the ship that is still lodged into the aft deck, and then there's all kinds of broomstone that is like lost along, like all scattered across. You could do a full like, I don't know, like Jack and Daxter style, Mario style, like go around and collect all the broomstone pieces,
Yeah.
whatever.
So yes, like Fabricate has 120-foot range. So my concept is basically casting it to pull as much broomstone as I can into. It can fit up to a 5-foot cube, basically.
That would work. So maybe you kind of walk out with the master builder and find your way to like maybe like here somewhere where you're like, okay, this is a pretty good point. And you let off, which is probably a very cool display of magic. You kind of go there and you kind of pull a magneto and kind of bring your hands out, and sort of all of the broomstone begins to rise off the side of the mountain into the air, and you kind of swirl your hand around and like reassemble as it all like a bunch of asteroids smashing into each other to create a planet, just reassemble this like massive block of broomstone.
Excellent.
Because that's, yes, magnificent. Good. I thought about the scavenging teams we'd have to bring out here. It would be a fortune. Oh, good. This is incredible. Thank you so much.
You got us quite far, and I do feel that we are quite responsible in our way for what happened to this ship. I imagine it would have happened to any other vessel we were upon, given the potential target.
Say, do you have any kind of magical spells that could lift that side of the ship and bring it right up against the other side of the ship? You think we can reassemble this baby? Do you have magics like that? Like lift it, put it over there, and then strap it together.
I think if I worked with Elaine, we could. It might not be something we could do immediately, though.
Oh, Nix, go ahead.
Nyx can use levitate. It only moves. It can handle up to 500 pounds, but it can only move things up to 20 feet.
Got
that
it.
might be. You could certainly help moving the broomstone. You could like lift it up and kind of like give it the forklift push kind of up the side. That'd be very helpful. So yeah, you can start moving the broomstone and kind of collecting it in the right space. I don't think that's going to move the entire front half of the ship, though. It might be weighing a little more.
Mhm.
Actually, that's 5 tons. That's pretty. Car weighs like 2. It's pushing it, but maybe. I'll tell you what. If you want to give it a shot, Nix, I'll let you make a little check to see if you can push it to the limit. Go ahead and make me. Let's call it a charisma-based Arcana check. Are you proficient with Arcana? You have a
Yes.
little. You are excellent. So, let's see. What is your proficiency bonus right now? Just to help you through this here.
It's a full proficiency, and I get a 6 bonus, a +6 bonus.
Got it. Could you tell me what your intelligence score is and what your charisma score is? The big number.
Charisma is 20 with a +5 modifier, and what'd you say the other one? Just intelligence?
Yeah.
13 with a +1 modifier.
This one. Okay, so because you'll be using charisma instead of the intelligence, you'll get +4 to this. So with a +10, roll me a d20 as you make a charisma-based Arcana check.
Do I have to roll that somewhere special?
If you want to just roll a standard Arcana and add a +4 to whatever the result is, that makes it that could make it easy for you.
Awesome. I got a natural 20,
Oh,
so
shit.
+10 would be 30.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's like, what do you think, Clint? Could you like? It's a bit of a long shot. You think you could lift this side of the ship and put it up against that side of the ship and move the broomstone perhaps too? What do you think? And you're like, oh, and you start flipping through your book. And you're like, I prepared this, maybe that. Suddenly the ship just starts. You hear like a, and the ship starts to like rise into the air as Nick starts like pulling a scale and starts going, and it's just like playing like crazy bard music, and it's just going crazy on I think the lyre, and the ship begins to sort of like lift up from the rock scape and like rise, levitate up into the air, and because whatever, it's logistics, it begins to sort of like float through the air, and Nick's is like playing this hardcore bard riff, and the ship kind of floats over and just kind of scoots itself, the open portion of the ship just kind of scoots itself up, and the two sides they're not attached, but they're right next to each other, and you kind of like your fingers are bleeding, Nick's on the wires. You're just like doing the spell like crazy, and then it sort of like lands right there, and he's like, that was incredible. And with that, the ship is brushed right up against, like the first half of the ship is brushed right up against the second half of the ship. And the broomstone has been reassembled, and he goes, it's going to be a bit of a patch job, but maybe I can get this thing working. I just going to need some. And in this moment, there's a boom as a giant silver dragon lands. He goes, ah, and like kind of like jumps in fear, and the silver dragon has arrived for pickup. Yeah. Anybody want to say or do anything to that? The dragon sort of appears and kind of like rolls its shoulders.
I'm sorry, Nix, is that the dragon that you were referring to, or are there just multiple in the region here? Okay.
As far as I know, that's the one.
I am the one.
I was hiding.
I do not indeed. I do recognize you. Your visibility does not hide you from the eyes of dragons. But it is good to meet you now. I come with good tidings. Your friend Finch is safe in my home, my lair. And I would ferry you all now as well. As your party safe, come to respite sanctuary, where I would take you all to meet your friend.
We're lacking 2 at the moment. They should be here sometime soon, which is the good news. Now I'll give you the same bad news I gave Finch. What did you call her? The Inevitable Doom, Bad Morning Hair, whatever her name is. She's headed, and he'll point towards the mountains that way.
I see. The inevitable end. It will take some time for her to travel, but I expect her quarry might make her tenacious. Unfortunate. We'll have to hope your friends arrive soon. The gnome's like, oh, kind of like tugging on your shirt and goes, I know the dragon is very cool, but do you think you could, the ship, just kind of put it together like you did the broomstone?
I think I could. Now, it might be a little big for the spell I was using, but if you give me a few minutes, I do have a cantrip for that.
Oh, okay, cantrip.
Because, well, the ship is made of, wooden planks joined, and the main points of breakage will be between the planks themselves, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. And, Glint does have mending prepared, so in theory, he could start joining together the planks of the ship bit by bit.
One by one, you may indeed begin to start very much like every individual plank together. It's gonna take a minute, but the gnome will start bringing over the right thing. So this board should go here and there, and you guys can begin your little art project. The broomstone block is just sitting there, and you guys begin to start bringing the ship together. And he's good. I could even perhaps get it to Vasselheim. That would be terrific. Is there anything that the silver dragon just kind of goes, we should not tarry. I'm tempted to go into the wilds and find your friends myself. Can.
It would be a great help. We're all not exactly in the best of health at the moment, so the assistance could be useful, especially with a dragon's eye view of the terrain.
Very well. So the dragon lifts up, like you try to get over, but the dragon is mighty and great, and doesn't. You go to like, and then the wings beat with such a wind that your hair goes like way back and immediately ascends like some 80 feet into the air and begins to sort of do a wide berth in the air, in which we will come to our two naturalists. Zarvolg and Yvain, you rose a little while ago before these events. You mean to begin your trip back to the ship, it sounds like?
I would actually ask, like, if you can track from the sky, I'm faster than you are. Hold on, yeah?
Yeah. I'm not sure how good my lay of the land is, but I can probably figure it out.
I won't be able to talk, but I'll understand you. And she'll golden eagle it up. Let Zarval get on it. Or a giant eagle.
You turn into a big giant golden eagle, and you scoop up Fen in one pot, and you Zarval, you get back on the back, and maybe have a slight flashback to when you got clotheslined yesterday.
As he's getting on, he's like,
find contact.
We need to get you some stirrups or something.
I have a mental image of Yvain taking off and just like on a low, just like not too heavy a branch, just a little like that seems like that would be in character. And you guys take flight. At which point I'm going to retro the dragon taking off, because I imagine you would find the crash site pretty quickly and pretty fast. If you would give me a survival check, Zarvolg and Yvain, I'll give you a perception check at advantage because you have the eagle's eye. Actually, Zarvolg, you as well, because you've got the goggles of So both of
So do you
you,
want
let's get
survival or
perception
perception
checks
or
at
both?
advantage, I think. Perception
Okay.
more than anything.
Oh, jeez. Didn't do me any good. I'm too busy hanging on. I got a 12.
I got
You're
a
a little
20.
busy. You're having a little PTSD up there, Zarvolk, and you don't quite see, but luckily the eagle that you're on does see, and as she flies you up to some great 200 feet above the ground, where you're like, oh, fuck, I don't want to fall from this high again. Yvain will soar, and you will see off in the distance all of these like small pink lights kind of like shooting together and assembling into one slightly bigger pink light. And you see off in the distance the basically the line of snapped trees and then the wood wreckage of the ship. And you can begin to make your trail there. You might even see a little glint of light on the horizon reflecting off a great winged creature.
I will go to the ship. I will not unshift
Understood.
when I land.
So the dragon sort of like says, I'm tempted to go find your friends. And in this moment, there's a and very heroically, Zarvolk, who will look the victor here because, you know, he's riding on a big old eagle, will sort of ride in.
Heroic
Men
dismount.
of the West! And we'll land on Eagleback aboard the back of the ship while the ship is sort of like half being assembled by Glint and the Master Builder. The Master Builder's shit, okay, men faster, men faster.
I'm trying.
Because I mean, it's really good that they're here. Took a long. Never mind, just keep going. And you guys will land. Zarvolk, you will land. You'll see all of your companions, save Finch, assemble. So will you, Yvain, but you're
Yeah. You guys can't get rid of me that easy. What kind of party would it be without a hobgoblin?
Ben probably goes over to a number of people, wagging his tail really, really crazily, and like, you know, licking hands and faces as he goes. The great dragon
is
will
this-
look on. Yeah, go ahead.
Is this Finch's new dragon?
The dragon will sort of look over you, and you see the eyebrow raise from the dragon.
Yvain does a little bow as an eagle when the dragon turns your direction.
Dragon will sort of nod slightly on the head and says, "It sounds like there is no time to waste. I would wish nothing more for there to be introductions, but perhaps we should be getting back. I would hate for your inevitable end to find my lair."
Right. Can anyone else scoop up these remaining skeletons for me?
Dragon sort of looks at the skeletons and goes, "Skeletons, we shall lay your dead to rest." And then sort of like looks on and sees the skeleton army and goes, "Oh."
Well, you see, it's sort of
You're one of those spellcasters, are you?
it's a social debt situation. You see, I figure that, you know, these are once horrible servants of Lolth, and this is helping them lay themselves to rest by community service and acts of good.
You wish to bring the undead servants of Lolth to my lair.
Oh, well, they're undead servants of me. They were living servants of Lolth that we then killed, that I then reanimated and am currently using against the servants of Lolth. But otherwise, yes, if possible.
He
Can't you,
blinks at you. Make a persuasion check. Oh, go ahead,
Yeah.
Ember.
can you treat them like ants and just get them to all kind of ball up like ants in the rain? Just all kind of lock onto one another, and then they're just one big bone ball.
Skeleking.
I was actually pondering asking if I could cast Fabricate on the remaining skeletons and make just some sort of horrible bone abomination to animate, but questions for
You
later, probably.
Certainly can, I guess. They are, I suppose. I mean, you have to disanimate them first because they're technically creatures right
Yeah.
now.
There's still 5 that are inert. So for persuasion, with a disadvantage, that'll be a 13. So not that great.
He says, I will compromise with you, necromancer. You may bring your servants. They shall sit at the base of the mountain, and perhaps even defend it from your assailant. But I will not have them on the hallowed grounds of the haunt.
Oh, wait. So, the inevitable end is still with us somewhere.
Oh yeah, she's walking that way.
She has had some time to travel. The legends tell that she moves with great speed, so let's not waste any time.
All right. Could I beg of you, maybe 11 minutes of additional time to waste?
He will tilt his head at you and say, if you believe you have the time to spare.
I hope so. If not, we can just drag the bones with us in bags, or leave them here if you prefer. Not the animated ones, just the dead ones. I defer to your wisdom. You're very large.
He sort of shakes his head a little bit. He goes, as I have said, assemble your legion, and we shall leave them at the base of the mountain, which we find.
Delightful. Thank you so much. So currently, there are 5 honor guard skellies, 9 chitines that are animated, and then 5 remaining chitines that are just bones.
Do you want to take Ember's advice and like make them into like a horrid skelly like ball, basically?
I was considering skeleton ball, or potentially like a horrible skeleton horse that's really just a skeleton like horse, but it's made out of skeleton spiders.
I don't know which is worse, honestly.
Yeah, like the Norse mythology, like near the 6-legged horse, but it's all like chitine arms forming the legs.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Horrid, Jesus. Well, what do you do? What do you command of your subjects?
I'm gonna try and make him into a horrible horse.
They like look at each other and kind of tilt their heads, and they start like pointing around and clicking, clacking at each other, like trying to figure out the logistics of turning themselves into a horse.
I'm just taking the ones that aren't animated yet and shaping them into a horrible new jigsaw puzzle.
All right, you're using
fabricate, and then animate dead afterwards.
You're fabricating them into each other, you're fusing them and then animating them?
Yes.
Their undead souls are like, what the fuck is he doing to us? I will simply say that in the end, your skellies do not become a functional horse by any means, nothing that you could possibly ride, but they vaguely resemble some kind of equine creature, as they have all like held arms with each other, and like it's truly some kind of weird nightmare mambo dance that they're doing.
Perfect.
With the fused and assembled remaining ones. And the dragon's like, fine. Does all of you let us go before I change my mind? This is, forgive me. And he is going to just like very roughly grab your skeletons and hold them in one of his hands, and kind of grab them in his front arms, like kind of like that, like a basketball. Your horse is immediately just sort of like clumped into like a snowball situation. Just kind of like holds your skeleton army like that. Beverly, Ember, Nyx, Glint, Master Builder's like, fine. And we'll load up He'll kind of like he'll go to the dragon and be like, could you at least put the broomstone inside the ship just so it doesn't get taken? You do realize an ancient assassin is out for an evil artifact, all of you. And he goes, I know, but this is a lifetime project. And he goes, he takes it and just like roughly shoves it into the cargo bay and says, shall we go, or will we leave Finch to alone defend the relic that you have secured within my lair? Do you all assemble upon this dragon you are testing the patience of?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
mosey. Yeah.
Dragon turns, goes, "Oh." And with again big beat of the wings, you guys begin to move with the extreme speed. Yvain, you'll be able to keep up. It gets a little ahead at times, but it does begin to slow down for you. You are fast, but it is faster. But it will keep pace with you. 80 feet, yes, but it is faster. Big dragon, big wings. But it will slow down to your pace. 80 feet is still a very respectable speed to have. Good go.
Perch on his back if I'm slowing us down. I just thought I'd make it easier. But if I'm
No,
slowing-
absolutely. 80 feet is a great pace, and he's getting close to over encumbered. So
Okay,
he can
yeah.
carry a lot of people, but this is you're certainly helping him out with the dog and the hobgoblin and the you, and because especially with this skeleton ball that he has to hold on to. So yeah, you guys are being ferried along. The dragon beats its mighty wings and begins to move. There will be 2 breaks during this flight. This happens over the course of this is probably going to be a 7-hour flight, and one of those hours is your party. Sorry, this is an 8-hour flight. So there's going to be 2 1-hour rests as you guys like stop, and Yvain and the dragon have lost, like basically resolve to continue their flight. We'll land, break after another hour, take flight 3 hours later, land, break. And that is where the dragon actually drops off the skeletons at that point, and they've all sort of make their way towards the base of this great mountain. As the rest comes to an end, Yvain and the dragon begin to like right up the side of this towering spire that leads up to its twin peaks. And at the very, very height where the twin peaks begin to tear off, sort of on the inside of one of the twin peaks, you will see this great monastery sort of built into the center of it, hidden away from all to see. And that is where we will return to Finch. Finch, is there anything you would like to do over the course of the several hours as you wait for your friends to come to the monastery?
Enjoy the peace and quiet.
That is perfectly fair. If you wanted to go to prayer, if you wanted to sit around, enjoy the gardens.
Yeah, I think so. I think after eating and like I'm realizing that they weren't dead, they would want to explore a little bit more respectfully and probably like take in a little bit of prayer given like where they're at, and just kind of enjoying like the beauty that is like the monastery that they're in.
Fair enough. Wander about, enjoy the beauty. And let me show you a little of the monastery because you'll come to be familiarized with it as time goes on. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, you'll wander around. The cleric will either wander with you, Father Darrow, or he will not at your leisure, whatever you like. He seems to trust you and not have much of a concern for danger. You'll wander around, you'll see the gardens. The gardens are very beautiful, where you see that there's a number of fish sort of swimming around. There's a great and healthy tree, a large variety of plants you have never seen before, mountain plants. You'll make your way sort of out of the training room, and you'll find there's this armory over here full of various weapons. Many of them look like they have not been used in a very, very long time, though still maintained and polished. So still very capable. Some of the weapons actually look ancient. Some of them look like, you're like, oh shit, like this is an old longsword. Like I saw one of these babies like sort of behind like a glass in one of the cathedrals. It's like a weapon held by like some warrior a couple hundred years ago. Like you're like, these are, I'd say like you're not a proficient smith or anything, but you know enough about the platinum dragon religion to be like, that's like an old fucking sword. Like it's well maintained, but it's old.
Touch it.
Touch it, and it's hung on the rack like just any old like sword. And
Yeah, like
armor,
anyone
and
can use it. I feel like
Yeah.
if that's the case, I feel like they would, yeah, if they're just out, like I'm not saying I would like take it like because it's like probably a real rare opportunity to like hold some weapons like that. So I feel like I would take that opportunity to please tell me I'm still in that monk robe.
Yeah, you still are. Oh, by the way, the father will say, "Oh, your arms and armor are in the chest at the foot of your bed."
Yeah.
So if you
Thought
want to
so.
ever, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Just so you know.
I think over time too, like while they're waiting, after they've enjoyed some peace and quiet, eventually they would go back and like put on their armor. But yeah, I think in this moment, like while they're just kind of exploring, they would take the opportunity to appreciate the artistry of like the different weapons and like hold them and yeah, maybe make like a like a gesture or two with each of them, which is kind of because it's so rare to like see some of those things. So I think they would want to take that opportunity, like respectfully, just to kind of, yeah. I love it.
Yeah, you pick them up and you swing them around a little bit and kind of enjoy and like, yeah, there's definitely a design here that to your as a devout follower of the Platinum Dragon, yeah, you've seen these models of swords only behind glass cases. So it's cool to see one like functional.
Mhm.
It looks like it hasn't seen a lot of combat, but they're well equipped for whatever might happen, which is kind of
Mhm.
cool.
I think that reaffirms like Finch's fear, right? Like the
Right.
quiet part that they're not saying out loud is like all of this weaponry is beautiful, but hasn't seen battle, and neither have they. So while I understand that they have like warriors or individuals who are set to protect, I feel like Finch does have a certain level of concern about the security, but again, not something that they would vocalize because I think they would understand that that would cause like a great offense if they
Fair.
made commentary of like you ain't doing what you think you're doing.
Yeah, and there's shields with, of course, the
Yeah.
sigil of the Platinum Dragon on it. You do see crossbows around for how isolated they are. They seem to have at least that kind of technology around, which is good. But yeah, there's far more weapons in here than there are people that actually live in this monastery. You get the sense this place was once populated a little more heavily than it is now.
Mhm.
You make your way out, and there's like a sitting area with some like bottles of like wine and whatever, just kind of hanging out on the mountainside. And you find your way up the trail, and you find your way to this very old, dead-looking tree.
Okay, cool.
And you see that there is, at the base of the tree, there is an anvil and a blade that sits upon the anvil, just lays there. It is a slender, ever so slightly curved blade, single-edged. It is as foreign a blade as you have ever seen in your entire life. It's very much got like a, in Lord of the Rings, where Narsil is sort of like set out the shards of Narsil. It's not a disassembled blade by any means, but the blade sits there at the base of this tree with a sort of a reverence to it. It's very cool, very interesting. Many of the dragon statues sort of sit almost like looking at the blade, watching it.
I leave it alone and don't touch it at all. No. I just shrug and walk back. No. I think too, I think there would be, okay, if they saw that, there definitely would be intrigue to want to touch it. I think they would want to be, again, mindful of like where they're at, because like I think it's the dichotomy between like recognizing that you're the guest in this beautiful sanctuary and recognizing like kind of like what you might be privy to versus like overstepping your welcome and just like touching things that you like that you shouldn't. So I think they would inspect it, kind of eye it up a little bit.
Yeah, so you want to pick it up?
I think so. I think especially given the fact that like everything else has kind of been out for like out for use, I at this point, I think they would at least be curious enough to pick it up.
Fair enough. Pick up the blade. It is surprisingly light. The edge of the blade is keen, and the actual structure of the blade seems to be not quite as flimsy as a longsword. If you take a longsword and kind of like do this, the blade will kind of wobble a little bit. This does not. It is very strong blade. You are no craftsman, so you don't really understand why, but the blade is tough and keen. It sits comfortably in your hands, and there is a quality to the blade, but you don't really know its I don't know what its history is or what its deal is, but it's a fine blade. It's a fine weapon, and one that you can wield with some finesse. Like you're a hammer strong person, but you get the sense that someone who had a little more tact and skill with like a rapier or a short sword could wield this with great proficiency. It is a unusual craftsmanship this blade possesses.
Okay. Yeah, I think too that would be I think Finch would take note of all the things within their surroundings, just again, given the fact that like this isn't like a largely populated facility. I think they would just make note of the fact that having such like a beautiful weapon, just like out like that, like while intriguing, is odd. So I think
it
they
is
would,
odd, yeah.
yeah. Is there anything else? Can I just kind of like, yes, the weapon is there. Can I observe, like, is there anything else that I would observe, like when it comes to like like you said, it's like on a tree. Is there anything else like I would take note of, or is it just kind of like it's cool and it's what you described?
Tree itself is dead, which is
Okay.
interesting. It has spikes of ice kind of coming out of it here and there, as if there's like ice growing from its interior. But the tree itself is dead. The blade is certainly the most interesting portion here. There's many statues around with like dragons who seem to have their heads curled as if they're watching sentries of the blade itself. The torches are lit here. You get the sense that the blade and the tree, you don't know exactly the situation, but this is a place of reverence, a place of probably holy or historical importance. The blade, tree, the blade is decorated with draconic lettering up the side of the blade. The actual cross guard has like dragon heads on it. The handle almost seems to be leather. It is a tremendously gorgeous blade.
Interesting. I don't have any spells or anything that I can use to discern otherwise. Maybe I will go and talk to my cleric friend. He said he could be helpful and answer questions.
You take the blade with you?
Ooh, I feel like that would, I think I would want to, but I think I would leave it. Again, I feel like it's that dichotomy between like wanting to be respectful and like observant of the surroundings and just like taking things off the wall, or you know what I mean? Like it's obvious that it is being protected, and I don't think I'd be like, ooh, let me just take this and bring it. Like I'm sure if I was to say, what's the story with this, he would know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay, so you put it back respectfully to where you once found it. And
Yeah.
make your way down. You will find Father Darrow. He says, "Oh, that blade. It has not been wielded since the time of the calamity, so I am told. It was. I don't fully understand the story, but I understand that it has a personal significance to the headmaster himself. He has spoken little of it, but does say that it did once belong to a warrior friend of his from ancient times, back when the war, the calamity endured. I am led to understand that it is somehow linked to the headmaster himself, that his own power, his own strength as a dragon is linked to the blade itself. We do not understand the full understanding or the story, but the headmaster has told us that a great battle occurred on this mountaintop. It would be better to ask him the full relevance of that. He goes there to ponder and meditate sometime.
I'll do just that. And pardon me for asking, but the headmaster himself, does he have a name? or does he strictly go by headmaster? What information can you tell me about the headmaster?
The headmaster goes by Kilricreth Loudspeaker. That is his name. Kilricreth. He is ancient. He is an ancient being. And, I would not presume to share all of his secrets, but I have no doubt that you will
Sure.
soon understand that that he is a dragon of ancient age. Many who have been here in the monastery have suspected that he fought in a calamity.
That is incredible.
We do not know much of the blade and its relevance and such, but I think it is meant to be a philosophical and moral lesson regarding Bahamut himself. The headmaster tells us that it is important to know when to put your blade down.
I can respect
He
that.
speaks of the blade and says it is significant to power as he is. And as such, there is a philosophical practice at leaving the blade, not picking it up, and knowing that the time has come to leave the blade down and not bear it against enemies. Though the temptation is always great to bring the attack to the enemies, we must learn the relevance of defense as well.
I can
So-
respect that.
Yes, indeed, we believe it is something of a philosophical lesson. And I think for the headmaster, it has a deep nostalgic relevance to him as well.
I'll look forward then to speaking with him if he's open to sharing those stories. I would be intrigued to learn more, and I don't expect you to share all of his secrets, but thank you.
Yes, I can tell you this. We have all awaited your coming for a very long time in this monastery, Finch. It is it's something of an honor to meet you. The omens told us that you were not one who cared much for glory, but it is hard not to be honest in our appreciation for your coming here. It was prophesied long ago.
I'm sorry. Did you say you said you spoke of omens and prophecies about me?
Indeed, about you. You are the soul. You have the angel's blood. You have the soul of the divines. You are literally the heaven sent.
I see. Okay.
I get ahead of myself. I simply mean to say that it is a great honor to have you in our halls. What is
I appreciate that. And it's an honor to be met with your hospitality. Yourself and everyone I've met here has been so kind and gracious. And I appreciate everything that you've done for me, everything that you are trying to do for my friends.
Of course. Of course. And he'll walk you around and show you some of the things, and he'll tell you that some of the omens come from him. He is learning of the master's divining powers, but he says that he is in contact with he often speaks to a great prophet in Vasselheim, that he makes frequent journeys to the holy city, the dawn of creation, and there he receives prophecies from Bahamut as to our purpose here. He has been in Vasselheim quite frequently these last several years, receiving omens and prophecies, and the tales of your birth and your forecoming have been told around here. There's not many people to share it with, but we have been indeed excited for your coming. It's been long awaited.
The pleasure is mine. And I think I'll just be very gracious and just honestly enjoy the history of where we're at and whatever he cares to share, and just kind of take that in. And I know we were joking, but enjoy the piece. And I feel like Finch hasn't had the opportunity to do something like this in a very long time. When they were a squire, obviously a part of that was learning about history and going through Amon and all of that. And I feel like they haven't had the opportunity to see this side of life in a while.
Absolutely. He will show you some places. He takes you to the library and opens the doors, and you'll see and scrolls ranging from modern times to ancient books and scrolls, where you will meet Marley Keendream, which will say, "Oh, great Prophet Finch, it's a great honor to have you here. I'm a curator of the headmaster's personal library. It's a great honor to meet you. I am a cleric of some small skill myself. Nothing compared, of course, to the headmaster or even Father Darrow, but I do my best. And please take a look around. And we'll welcome you to look around through the stores. And again, there are ancient texts in here and modern texts and all kinds of things worthy of looking through if you cared. Father Darrow will take you around, says, those are the steps to the headmaster's private chambers. I would, of course, insist, as the headmaster also insisted, that none are to enter until his coming. I'm sure he will be more than happy to show you inside. He'll take you to this door and he'll say, that is a very sacred place, and I would not wish to deprive the headmaster of showing you personally within. Well, he says, you've seen the cathedral and you've seen the gardens, and you say those doors lead to the outlook. I'm sure the headmaster can explain that to you as well. And then we'll kind of bring you back and says you're more than welcome to explore the dormitories or the kitchens. The headmaster should be back soon. He'll show you around. If you wish to know about the history, he'll say it all began in the Calamity, where the headmaster and several warriors on behalf of Bahamut waged a great battle on this mountaintop, which is why the peak has been split such, by the power brought to bear by the heroes of Bahamut, and cast down evildoers. The headmaster teases us about which servants of the betrayers that they fought off the top of this mountain. Sometimes it's Bane, sometimes it's others. We do not wish to speak the names of such evil in these halls too much, but he will tease us at times of what evil he faced down. But one thing is certain is that the battle was of such great significance, and that's that he established this monastery here to guard the secrets of Bahamut's most trusted warriors and sacred orders, and scrolls and so on and so forth, relics and such. And so here we have dwelt. There have been, over the centuries, there have been a knightly order has been here, a monkly order, but we find in frequent days that our numbers have diminished greatly, and occasionally our master will scout faithful from the outside, but it's only the four of us for now. Sometimes we do dwindle in number, and for whatever reason, the headmaster has seen it fit to keep our numbers slight. I do not understand why, but I'm sure he knows better than I, of course, as always.
Above the table, Ryan, I mean, just given the historic significance of this shrine, I know you had mentioned a couple times that you had said that this was like a secret place. So would this have been anything that would have been whispered amongst like any of the followers of Bahamut that I would have learned from, or is this one of those things that like is like a tale, or like nobody's been able to prove that it exists or something along, or is this something that's like completely unknown to like most individuals regardless of like their devout following of Bahamut?
Yes, you have. There is unfortunately no check for you, for even you, who is probably one who has been trusted with great secrets of Bahamut. You have not undergone your acknowledging in Amon yet, but like your father, like, you recall nothing of this place, no relevance of this place, not even the histories of the battles that took place. This is
okay, it's all new. All right.
This is all very new. This is a place of either you don't know of it or it is an obscurity to history itself.
Okay, understood. Okay.
Sweet. And you will linger here throughout the day, and you can take some time to pray and sit and enjoy the cool mountain air. There's something revitalizing about the atmosphere. Even maybe a little lightheaded. I think Father Darrow would tell you at one point that the warriors, in times past, the paladin knightly warriors who trained here would often do so intentionally, supposed to train their constitution against the thin mountain air, and you know, give you the tourist rundown. But eventually, as maybe you're outside, you'll see piercing the clouds is the magnificent dragon you thought to be Bahamut a little while ago. Great wings will pierce through the cloudscape and come to land over here on the land, where your friends will begin to get back off of this mighty ancient silver dragon, a dragon the size of which you have never seen before. And your friends will begin to ascend off the back of the great dragon. You can go to meet them on the bridge.
Yes, I will do that. And I will like as I'm going out to greet them, I think I would try and be mindful about like whatever condition they're in, and I would greet them very warmly. It's
So
everyone is there, right?
Yep, everyone is there. You guys all find yourself ascending the mountain, where you find like you're holding on as tightly as you can to the scales, and your breath becomes shorter and shorter as the mountain air grows thinner and thinner, and finally you break through the upper mountain clouds that seem to permeate around this mountaintop. The dragon finally lands, and you guys kind of get off the dragon back, but are delighted to see this great monastery hidden away at the highest peaks and perhaps all of Asilva. And you see Paladin Finch in good health walking down the bridge to greet you.
Hey, Finch, we met your friend.
I see that. I haven't met my friend yet. And I think I will like make my way out to greet the headmaster.
Beverly runs up to you and gives you the biggest fucking hug.
Yes.
She goes, Finch, I was so worried about you. I thought you were dead.
I was for a little bit, but I am.
Oh gods, you were?
That's neither here nor there. I feel like I must apologize to you slightly. I know that I may or may not have shoved you off of the airship. But sometimes you need to kick your little birds out of the nest, and I just felt like that was your time, and you did wonderful.
I feel like that analogy really underscores the situation we were in, but thank you. It was like probably the most heroic thing that I'd ever experienced, and I'm just so glad you're okay.
I'm glad you're well as well, and especially because from what read with Ember's voice. I don't know how that works still, I don't think. Anyway, it sounds like that you've encountered trouble from the moment that we landed.
It's been horrible. I got attacked I was with Glint, and Glint lost his mind at one point. Was talking about thought it was a skeleton, was talking about saliva and
is that what I was talking about? I don't actually recall.
You know, that happens to the best of us.
The arm lady she attacked, she almost killed me.
Yeah. And then I think Finch is gonna have like a flashback a little bit from like licking that plant, and then they're just gonna like think like, yep, that tracks. Okay. And then I think they're gonna go out to meet the headmaster.
Got it. You step out towards the headmaster, who I think at all of you at this point, the dragon is brawn and strong, but has flown very far, traveled some 7 hours to meet you. 8 hours actually, traveled some 8 hours to intercept you, traveled 8 hours back with Finch, and then another 8 hours up to pick you guys up, and then another 8 hours back. This is the dragon almost looks like exhausted by its own weight. And is beginning to show it finally at a couple levels of exhaustion. Not a couple, but has finally begun to undertake some serious exhaustion. But regardless, will see you, Finch, and doesn't give you the crazy regard you're very used to, but speaks to you in Celestial, and will say, Paladin Finch Endicott, welcome to the monastery of the Metallic Order. I am known as the headmaster, Kilraketh Clouds, and call this place your home henceforth, for we have long expected one of your divine soul to come.
And I think Finch would bow like very deeply in respect and respond back in Celestial. It is an honor and a privilege to meet you, and I deeply appreciate the hospitality that everyone here has shown and the lengths that you've gone to save both myself and my friends. There's no words that I can think of right now that could properly articulate how much I appreciate you. And I'll like just kind of again like make sure I am showing the utmost respect, like maybe not like quite making eye contact.
Absolutely. The dragon sort of will look around and say, Father Darrow. And the Father Darrow will go, yes, Headmaster. You'll say, would you be so kind as to provide whatever aid, food, accommodations that our guests require, beds in the dormitories. I wish nothing more than to treat with our guests, but I expect they, as well as I, need some time for respite, especially considering that we may have a last uninvited guest on the way. Require some rest to recover. Please see that they have every hospitality met. And Father Darrow says, of course, Headmaster, as you wish. The Headmaster will say, I trust all of your respect in this place, and please feel free. Make yourselves at home. I have some sleep to get. If you'll excuse me. The dragon will turn its mighty form around to the edge and just sort of like step off the edge and kind of almost like almost kind of like an alligator or something, like treading into the water. Will just kind of step off the mountainside. Its wings will unfurl and sort of lazily like take into a gliding flight. And a couple flaps later, will take a wide berth around the side and kind of disappear around the monastery about over here. Father Darrow will speak widely to all of you and says, welcome one and all. I am Father Darrow here of the Monastery of the Metallic Order. You are all welcome guests. Please come within. If you require healing, I may help. If you require food, food is already being cooked, and we have many beds for you to sleep in. Please, right this way. I'm sure you have much rest to take. Please, come right this way.
Of course, the headmaster said that my creations should linger here and guard the bridge, but not enter the holy grounds. Is that correct?
I don't know. Is that what he said? He didn't say anything about that just now. You will recall that he did leave them at the bottom of the mountain and like ascended several hundred
Got
feet
it.
up the mountain.
Right, I'm sure they'll be fine down there. They're doing great. They don't get lonely. They do get lonely, but it's okay.
Let's get you checked. Let's get you checked out. You look like you've had a bit of a rough time of it. Right this way, please, everybody. And the priest will take you in and will tend to your wounds to the best of his abilities. We will need to go through those specifically next session, but you find yourself here in the Monastery of the Metallic Order. You have survived the Asira wilds, the inevitable end there within, but that end is on its way. So whatever you intend to do here, we expect you have little enough time to do it. It's up to you to see where wisdom lies, whether to rest, gather your strength, leave, speak. That's for you to decide next week. But for now, you have a couple moments of sanctuary or more, depending on your decisions. But this is a strange and lost place to time, and one that is very relevant to Bahamut. You get the sense that there's much that you have to learn of here, Finch. And we will pick that up next week.
No.
Oh yeah.